Welcome to Fantasy Fanfiction. Gao Wu, F-level talent at the start evolve into SSS. Chapter 41. However, Ling Xiao, who had just entered the door, suddenly heard a grudge. Ling Xiao looked over and immediately found that Ling Yoren was looking at her with a crying face. Ling Xiao's red eyes reminded Ling Xiao now, and she forgot to tell Ling Yoren that she would not be back at night. You must know that you cannot contact others during the assessment period. How could I not come back? If I don't come back, who will take care of you, silly girl? Ling Xiao smiled and then rubbed Ling Yoren's little head. Humph, then you didn't even give me a message. Hearing Ling Xiao's words, Ling Yoren immediately said angrily. I'm not in a hurry, by the way, I'll show you something. Ling Xiao was helpless and took out a badge directly from his arms. However, the moment he saw this badge, Ling Yoren couldn't help covering his small mouth. This is a martial artist order. Brother, where did you pick it up and send it to the Martial Artist Alliance? If it is found, you will be punished. Ling Yoren quickly reacted and spoke anxiously to Ling Xiao. Why do I send my things back? Your brother and I are a real martial artist now, this is my own martial artist order. Seeing Ling Yoren's excited expression, Ling Xiao immediately smiled, and then Ling Xiao directly activated the martial artist order. In an instant, a virtual projection appeared directly above the martial artist order, and the virtual projection showed the appearance of Ling Xiao. After seeing this scene, Ling Yoren immediately covered her mouth. Brother, you actually. Ling Yoren couldn't believe it. It's amazing, isn't it? Ling Xiao immediately smiled proudly. However, the next moment Ling Yoren's urgent words left Ling Xiao speechless. You actually forged the martial artist order. Hurry up and destroy it. If anyone finds out, it will be executed by the Martial Artist Alliance. The anxious Ling Yoren said that she was about to take Ling Xiao's martial artist order and smash it. Stop, then your brother, am I so stupid? This is really my martial artist order. At this time, Ling Xiao was really helpless. 2 days ago, he was a rookie who couldn't even meet the entrance standard of an advanced martial arts school of 500 kilograms, but now he has successfully certified a martial artist. No one can believe this. There was no way Ling Xiao could only tell where he had been in the past 2 days. Of course, he just described his strength as having just reached the first level of body forging. It was a fluke that he successfully authenticated the martial artist. As for why his strength has improved so quickly, Ling Xiao just said that because of his awakening ability, he developed the energy accumulated over the past few years in one go in a short period of time. Although this situation is rare, it is not uncommon. There are many geniuses who have just awakened their abilities, and they can improve several small realms in just a few days. The entire human race has been busy with history, and there are even very individual cases. It took less than 10 days after awakening the ability to directly go from a martial artist apprentice to an acquired martial artist. This is also the reason why Ling Xiao's strength has skyrocketed so fast without many people doubting it. After all, any miracle can happen in the era of the big universe. Of course, in order to convince Ling Yoren, Ling Xiao also pinched an alloy ornament at home. You must know that this kind of thing can withstand at least 1 or 2 tons of force. What? Brother, you have already become a strong forging realm. Doesn't that mean that you have the opportunity to apply for the Provincial Key Advanced Martial Arts School? Therefore, Ling Yoren was immediately excited after seeing Ling Xiao's powerful strength. Yeah, with my strength, it is already a certainty to enter the Provincial Key Point, but the president of the Cayenne City Martial Artist Alliance said that if you want to enter the Provincial Key Point, you need some special assessments, so I will go to the assessment tomorrow, know when the assessment will end. Ling Xiao looked at the excited Ling Yoren and said half-truth that she might have to go out for a few days. Well, brother, you have to be careful, I heard that these assessments are very dangerous. After hearing Ling Xiao's words, Ling Yoren immediately spoke up. Well, I will. Haha, let's not talk about it, this time I got a lot of money through the martial artist certification. Let's go, brother will take you to eat delicious food. After I come back from the assessment, we will move directly to the city center. Quote. Ling Xiao nodded, then suddenly laughed, and then smiled and said to Ling Yoren. Moving to the city center, this wish was the biggest wish of the two brothers and sisters Ling Xiao and Ling Yoren in the past few years, because only when they entered the city center would they not have to be careful that the star beasts would come in and kill them that day. And now, that desire is so close. Comma 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 comma. Comma 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 comma. Ling Xiao returned home 2 hours later. At the same time, he also gave Ling Yoren the remaining bottle-sized flesh and blood essence. You must know that the amount of flesh and blood essence this time is not only large, but also can increase the training speed from twice the original to 5 times. According to this calculation, within a few months at most half a year, Ling Yoren will be able to become a body forging realm first layer. 13.5-year-old body forging realm first level heaven. If this is said, it will definitely make the entire Kaiyan city boil, because this is definitely a genius second only to Ling Xiao in Kaiyan city. Ow. However, after Ling Xiao took out a small bottle of flesh and blood essence, Xiao He, who was sleeping in Ling Xiao's pocket, rushed out excitedly. When I saw a bottle of flesh and blood essence, I immediately started to drool. Brush. The next moment, Xiao He turned into a black shadow and planned to eat the flesh and blood essence of this vial. After eating so much, still want to eat. This is not yours. Ling Xiao was speechless and grabbed the little thing directly. Ow. The captured Xiao He immediately looked at Ling Xiao pitifully when he heard Ling Xiao's words. Yeah, little lizard. Brother, is it your pet? It's so ugly, but it's ugly and cute. The appearance of Xiao He immediately caught Ling Yoren's attention. Ling Yoren was pleasantly surprised and poked the aggrieved Xiao He with her slender and tender fingers. Ow. Xiao He, who was said to be ugly, became anxious immediately, and started making a fuss at Ling Yoren. He is a dignified three-headed dragon from hell. He was actually called ugly and cute. If this were to spread out, his fame would be ruined. Don't say it, it looks pretty ugly now. You can play with it if you like it. By the way, drink this bottle first, otherwise it will be troublesome if this little guy steals it. Ling Xiao glanced at Xiao He, who became smaller, and smiled. After speaking, he threw Xiao He and the bottle of flesh and blood essence to Ling Yoren. Ow. Ow. Xiao He, who was caught by Ling Yoren, immediately hurriedly called for help to Ling Xiao, but unfortunately Ling Xiao had already turned around and returned to his room and began to prepare to receive his reward. Little Black was ignored. You have a private message, do you want to open it? Just when Ling Xiao had just returned to the room, a voice from the brain reached Ling Xiao's mind. At night, who will send me a private message? Ling Xiao was stunned, and immediately opened her inbox. However, what caught his eye were hundreds of private messages, almost all of which were sent to him by Ling Yoren in the past 2 days. This little girl, it seems that she didn't come back for 2 days, it really scared her. Ling Xiao was also a little helpless. After all, in this world, he couldn't get in touch for 2 days, and 80% of them were dead. Say no to how this is possible. After reading all these news, Ling Xiao decided in her heart that no matter what, she would contact the little girl first. News about Luo Lingshuang. How many more? Could it be that there is a lack of sparring? Suddenly Ling Xiao discovered that Luo Lingshuang had actually sent her the first message during the day yesterday. Speaking of the intersection of Luo Lingshuang, the school girl, and Ling Xiao, it is not too complicated. You know, it is very difficult for an orphan of Ling Xiao's age to survive in this world. Not only does he need to take care of the younger Luo Lingshuang, but he also has to worry about food and drink. In order to get star coins, he can only go to find a job by himself, but at such a young age, he can hardly do any work. The only thing he can do is to sneak into the Star Beast area to pick up some garbage. However, 50% of ordinary people who go through this situation will not be able to come back. You must know that this is a one-time situation, the probability of dying twice is 7.5%, and the probability of dying is 90% more than 3 times. It can be said that it is completely exchanging life for money. In the end, Ling Xiao had to go to make a living. The first time was fine, there was no danger, and he even got back the corpse of a top-level beast, which should have been killed by a certain martial artist. In this way, it is considered to have exchanged a few hundred star coins and maintained a livelihood for several months. The second and third time, Ling Xiao almost couldn't return, but luck was not bad. But the fourth time there was an accident, he encountered a first-order star beast. Just when he was about to be killed by the first-order star beast, a group of people appeared. The other party was Luo Lingshuang's father Luo Yuntian and his bodyguard. They came to the star beast area to find rare materials. Just when they came back, they met Ling Xiao. It just saved his life. Luo Lingshuang's father Luo Yuntian gave Ling Xiao a job when he knew about Ling Xiao's situation and when Ling Xiao was actually in the same school as Luo Lingshuang. That is to accompany Luo Lingshuang. Said to be sparring is actually practicing basic bodybuilding boxing. Because Ling Xiao can't do anything else, but he is very good at basic physical training and boxing. Having such a peer as a sparring partner and sandbag Luo Lingshuang can be regarded as a lot of growth. And this practice is a full 3 years. It's just that as Luo Lingshuang's strength and Ling Xiao's strength are getting bigger and bigger, Luo Lingshuang has rarely come to Ling Xiao in recent months. Of course, in 3 years, the two sides have become good friends, and the friendship is not shallow. By the way, yesterday was Luo Lingshuang's birthday. There are so many things in the past 2 days, I actually forgot. However, when Ling Xiao saw Luo Lingshuang's first message, he was stunned. To be honest, I am very grateful to this little girl Ling Xiao. If it wasn't for his father Luo Yuntian, Ling Xiao would have died long ago. Although Luo Lingshuang and his battle did not keep their hands, each time it ended, Ling Xiao would use her treatment cabin to heal all the injuries. You know, this kind of treatment is not something that people at the bottom can enjoy. Many big families have this kind of sparring, but 9 out of 10 don't live for a year, because they haven't been treated after being seriously injured. And Ling Xiao also reached the middle school level with the lowest talent in the injury and recovery again and again. Therefore, when he found out that Luo Lingshuang invited him to his birthday, he forgot it was a little helpless. But when he saw the second message, he was stunned. At 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, Luo Lingshuang actually sent another message saying that the birthday party was cancelled because one of his father's VIP friends didn't have time. Change it to 8 o'clock tonight. And the third message was sent by Luo Lingshuang just now, asking if Ling Xiao is coming. Ling Xiao glanced at the time. Che, it's just 7:40, if it wasn't for the news of Luo Lingshuang, I'm afraid I wouldn't know it when it's over. Ling Xiao was also embarrassed, and immediately Ling Xiao rushed out of the house after replying to the other party with a message. Meanwhile, the Luo family. Daughter, it's time to come out. This time, a lot of Cayenne City powerhouses are here to celebrate for you. Luo Yuntian walked to Luo Lingshuang's room and opened his mouth to Luo Lingshuang with a smile. This time Luo Lingshuang awakened the sea-level talent, although he had already prepared, but when he really awakened, Luo Yuntian was so excited that he hadn't slept for a few days. You must know that awakening the power of flame of the sea-level talent means that Luo Lingshuang has a 30% chance of becoming a sea-level genius as long as he works hard and his strength keeps up with the past few years. A sea-level genius, that is a genius that has never been seen in the entire Cayenne City in 100 years. A powerful genius who may reach the innate level in the future. Therefore, when the news of Luo Lingshuang's awakening came out, in the past 2 days, the Luo's group, which could only be regarded as a second-class enterprise in Cayenne City, instantly had a lot of first-class groups to show their favor. Well, Dad, I'll be out right now. Luo Lingshuang glanced at her message panel after hearing Luo Yuntian's words, but there was still no news of Ling Xiao. Hey, this guy, I don't know what's going on, and I haven't responded to the news until now. Thinking of Ling Xiao Luo Lingshuang, who had also awakened her talent, she suddenly became annoyed. Did the other party really forget her birthday? Are you waiting for that kid Ling Xiao? After seeing Luo Lingshuang's appearance, Luo Yuntian suddenly opened his mouth in doubt. No, who is waiting for him? Luo Lingshuang blushed and quickly defended. There is no best. Although that kid has a good character, he saved your life before, but unfortunately, his talent is too poor, and you are no longer from the same world. Luo Yuntian said helplessly after seeing Luo Lingshuang's appearance. Father, what are you thinking? Ling Xiao and I have nothing to do. Besides, didn't you have no talent for cultivation and married my mother? However, after hearing Luo Yuntian's words, Luo Lingshuang immediately defended angrily. As soon as his words came out, Luo Yuntian was speechless. It's nothing to say, and compares himself with Ling Xiao. Okay, it's okay, you can decide for yourself. Luo Yuntian was helpless. At this time, he regretted working for Ling Xiao at the beginning, and now he is afraid that even his daughter will have to catch up. But if he hadn't worked for Ling Xiao, he probably wouldn't have a daughter now. The matter has to start from a year ago, when Ling Xiao and Luo Lingshuang went home together. They met the killer sent by the opponent of the Luo group. The opponent's purpose was to kill Luo Lingshuang and then let Luo Yuntian have no time to participate in a bid. Luo Lingshuang would definitely be dead if Ling Xiao didn't realize that something was wrong and blocked the strike of the laser crossbow when the killer was about to kill Luo Lingshuang. That's it, let them go by themselves. Thinking of this, Luo Yuntian could only come to the living room. It's finally here. At the same time, Ling Xiao also spent hundreds of star coins to take a private shuttle to Luo's house. Yes, there are so many people this year, but in previous years there were only dozens of people. Looking at the crowd of hundreds of numbers, Ling Xiao immediately raised his brows. As Luo Lingshuang's few friends' birthday, this is his third time here. It seems that Luo Lingshuang has awakened the reason for his sea-level talent. Even the Lu clan is here. Sure enough, there is no eternal enemy. However, Ling Xiao raised his brows immediately after seeing a fat man in the crowd. That's right, this so-called Lu clan was the one who assassinated Luo Lingshuang last year. Although he killed Luo Lingshuang, the one who was almost killed was himself. It seems that I have to find an opportunity to destroy this Lu family, otherwise I was not injured in vain. A trace of killing intent flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes. Look at Miss Luo here. However, at this moment, the crowd suddenly rioted. Everyone looked directly in front of the crowd, only to see Luo Lingshuang, who was dressed several times more dazzling than usual, walking out slowly. With his appearance, the surrounding big family teenagers were sluggish. As expected of this era, it can be regarded as a school beauty. Compared with the youthfulness of the previous 2 years, the current Luo Lingshuang can be regarded as amazing. Ling Xiao was also a little surprised. Even in this era, Luo Lingshuang's appearance is of the top level. But at this moment, Luo Lingshuang's eyes turned to Ling Xiao in the crowd. The moment she saw Ling Xiao, who was originally unhappy, she burst into a happy smile. With this smile, everything around him went quiet. Lu fatty, who let you in, get out of here. However, at this moment, a loud shout erupted directly from the center of the living room. I saw Luo Yuntian angrily looking at the controller of the Lu group in the crowd. Everyone present immediately looked at Fatty Lu with a puzzled expression when they heard this angry shout. Everyone knows about the assassination of Luo Lingshuang. I didn't expect him to dare to come. Moreover, this fellow was following the Luo family patriarch with reluctance at this time. The Luo family is the most powerful family in Cayenne City, and the head of the Luo family is the powerhouse of the acquired second layer. It can be said that in the entire Cayenne City is one of the top 10 powerhouses. Patriarch Luo, there's no need to be so angry. If there is any misunderstanding, just sit down and clarify it slowly. At this time, an old man in a white robe who looked extraordinary also smiled and said. He is the head of the Luo family. Fatty Lu was his sister's son, so he naturally wanted to protect him. It is also taking advantage of today to solve this matter. After all, if it is not resolved now, it will be difficult if Luo Lingshuang grows up. Father. Seeing this scene, Luo Lingshuang hurriedly pulled Luo Yuntian's sleeve, not wanting to make things worse. Luo Lao, I respect you as something that senior doesn't want to say. Please let your nephew leave now, my Luo family does not welcome him. This matter is not a misunderstanding, we will talk about it later. Quote. However, Luo Yuntian's face suddenly turned ashen when he saw that the head of the Luo family came out to join in. At this moment, he hates himself for lack of strength and power, and even knowing that his daughter was assassinated, he can't punish the culprit behind it. However, the power and strength of the Luo family are far from what he can match. However, with the attitude he should have, he would never bow his head. HMPH, Luo Yuntian, don't be so shameless, my uncle came to reconcile with you personally to give you face. Let's just say it directly, today we are not only here to reconcile, but also to propose marriage. The target is my uncle's grandson, Luo Shang. He is a genius of saving the key points, more than enough for your daughter. Quote. However, after hearing Luo Yuntian's words, Fatty Lu immediately cursed angrily, and then spoke with a sneer. As soon as his words came out, everyone present was instantly shocked. Propose marriage. This Luo family is so unscrupulous. It seems that they want to take advantage of Luo Lingshuang's growth and tie such geniuses directly to their Luo family. Luo Lingshuang's face turned pale. You must know that the Luo family has done this kind of thing more than once. Unexpectedly, the other party actually hit his head with his attention now. Thinking of this, a hint of despair rose in her heart. If the other party really wanted to force her, she would definitely burn herself directly. Start the second-order killing program and kill him for me. Luo Yuntian exploded instantly when he heard Fatty Lu's words. Losing his mind, he gave a loud shout. As soon as his words came out, everyone present changed their faces. Luo Yuntian, you dare. At this moment, even the head of the Luo family's face changed greatly. The second-order killing program, that power can definitely level the entire hall, and even he may not be able to withstand it. It's a pity that Luo Yuntian, who has lost his mind, will pay attention to this. The killing program starts. The next moment, with the explosion of an extremely cold electronic sound, the top of the hall cracked dozens of cracks in an instant. Dozens of weapons then stretched out. Ohm. In an instant, all weapons are directly charged. The terrifying breath instantly made the people present hurriedly open their personal protective shields. Patriarch Luo, think twice, we are innocent. Yes, there is an injustice and a debt, and if you kill us, you will not be able to survive, so talk about it if you have something to say. Yes, Miss Luo is also here. If you attack, we will all die. By the way, if Miss Luo is so talented, as long as she is taught by some strong people, the Luo family will not dare to do it. At this moment, all the patriarchs of the big families wanted to cry without tears. Although the Luo family was not strong, it was still easy to get money for a second-order killing program. All of them will die if they explode. It's just that they didn't expect the other party to use this kind of perishing move if they didn't agree with each other. At this time, Luo Yuntian also calmed down. He stared at the head of the Luo family and Fatty Lu hesitantly. Immediately, he glanced at Luo Lingshuang who was beside him. Looking at Luo Lingshuang with a pale face, he could only endure the anger in his heart at this time. Good chance. However, at this moment, the head of the Luo family suddenly flashed a fierce light in his eyes. Boom! In an instant, the entire earth burst open at the foot of the Luo family patriarch, and the nature of the Luo family patriarch also instantly turned into a stream of light and charged directly towards Luo Yuntian. The speed is so fast, how can Luo Yuntian, who is only at the 6th level of the body forging realm, react? Go to hell, chops! Luo Yuntian only reacted when the head of the Luo family came to him with a loud shout and punched him. Unfortunately, it's too late. He doesn't have time to start the killing program, and, even if he has time, can he kill his daughter with his own hands? I'm sorry, Schwanger. Luo Yuntian sighed in despair. Boom. The next moment, a deafening sound reached everyone's ears. However, when everyone came back to their senses, they were completely stunned by the scene in front of them. I saw that the Luo family's patriarch, who had just been invincible, was now embedded in the floor with blood and flesh. And on his body stood a boy who looked no more than 15 or 16 years old. Those who were weak were dumbfounded at this time, but those warriors who had reached the 8th level and 9th level of the body forging realm all had their eyes widened. Hey, what a terrifying speed! The head of the Luo family was killed in seconds, how is this possible? The head of the Luo family was killed in an instant, what the hell is this young man? At that moment, they saw a black shadow disappear in a flash, and the next moment, the Luo family patriarch was embedded on the ground. Ling Xiao. You are Ling Xiao. However, Luo Yuntian, who looked at Ling Xiao face to face and instantly killed the head of the Luo family, was really dumbfounded. He looked at Ling Xiao in front of him with an incredible look. Uncle Luo, Ling Shuang, you are not hurt. However, facing Luo Yuntian's shock, Ling Xiao opened his mouth with a smile. This sentence made Luo Lingshuang cover her mouth in disbelief. Once again, Ling Xiao appeared and rescued her when she was most in danger. At this moment, in her mind, she recalled the boy whose entire chest was pierced but still smiled and asked her if she was hurt. I don't know what the feeling that rose in my heart completely spread in Luo Lingshuang's heart at this moment. It's okay, I didn't expect your strength to be so powerful. Is it because of the awakening of supernatural powers? And Luo Yuntian was immediately excited, a 15-year-old boy who could kill Haotian realm in seconds. He knew very well what this meant. Soon he guessed why Ling Xiao became so powerful. After all, he knew very well what level Ling Xiao was before. Therefore, he quickly remembered the legend that some people with supernatural talents will absorb the power of some people with supernatural talents from the beginning of cultivating supernatural potential. When the innate ability awakens, the energy accumulated over the years will be fed back in a few days or months. This is why everyone regards awakening as a fate-changing moment. Not just for supernatural reasons. It should be, I don't know the specifics, but the strength has inexplicably improved a lot in the past 2 days. Ling Xiao also smiled and told her situation directly. Yes, his strength has indeed improved a lot inexplicably, and 90% of it is also because of his own supernatural undead body. Not a scam either. Ling Xiao, thank you. Luo Lingshuang on the side also reacted and quickly thanked Ling Xiao with a blushing face. Is there any thanks for our relationship? We are all friends. Ling Xiao also smiled shyly after hearing this. As soon as his words came out, Luo Lingshuang's face turned even redder. But in my heart I don't know why I feel a little disappointed. Just friends. Luo Lingshuang didn't realize that she had such a big reaction to Ling Xiao's words at this time. Hey, such a genius has such a good relationship with the Luo family. What kind of shit did the Luo family have? Yeah, I'm envious. This time the Luo family has kicked the iron plate. Such an age and talent, even the entire Earth is a super genius. The Luo family is really skyrocketing this time. The people of the surrounding Cayenne City big family all looked at Luo Yuntian with admiration at this time. Even if her daughter is talented, she still has such a son-in-law. That's right, in their eyes, Ling Xiao and Luo Lingshuang are definitely not simple. You dare to kill my uncle, you are dead, you are definitely dead, my Luo family will never let you go. However, at this moment, Fatty Lu in the crowd finally recovered from the shock of his uncle's death. Excited, he immediately cursed. However, his expression changed after he finished speaking, and he wanted to give himself a few mouths. He didn't run at this time, but he was still talking here. Cough, I just said the wrong thing, I'm going to get out, I'm going to get out. After reacting, he hurriedly smiled and immediately planned to apply oil on the soles of his feet. Stop. However, at this moment, an extremely cold voice broke out from Ling Xiao's mouth. As soon as this voice came out, Fatty Lu immediately felt a killing intent soaring to the sky, and he instantly collapsed to the ground. The waves in his heart were turbulent, and the killing intent condensed into coercion. This is an ability that even some innate level powerhouses may not have. What kind of terrifying existence have you provoked? The boss of the Lu group. Remember last year when you failed to find someone to assassinate Ling Shuang and accidentally injured a teenager? Looking at Fatty Lu on the ground, Ling Xiao spoke slowly. As soon as his words came out, everyone around was shocked. The story of Fatty Lu's assassination of Luo Lingshuang was widely heard at the beginning, and they all knew that it was a teenager who saved Luo Lingshuang. But it is said that the boy was just Luo Lingshuang's sparring partner. Unexpectedly, the nameless young man who did not pay attention to his life and death was actually Ling Xiao in front of him. It's you. It's actually you. How is this possible? However, Ling Xiao's words instantly made Fatty Lu scream in horror, and he remembered it. It's good to remember. Our grievances, let's be together today. Ling Xiao also smiled slightly after hearing his words. The next moment Ling Xiao pointed his fingertips towards the void. Puff! In an instant, a red flame ray flashed away in front of everyone's eyes. When everyone reacted, they realized that a thumb-sized hole had been burned through Fatty Lu's eyebrows. The terrified Fatty Lu fell to the ground without any change in his expression. The power of flame is actually the power of flame. How is this possible? Two geniuses who have realized the power of flame. Death, a 15-year-old acquired powerhouse, and a super genius who has realized sea-level talent. What kind of monster is this? Comma 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 comma. Comma 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 comma. At this moment, everyone around was stunned. Even Luo Lingshuang and Luo Yuntian looked at Ling Xiao in shock. I awakened 2 abilities that day, but the machine only detected 1. Seemingly knowing Luo Lingshuang's shock, Ling Xiao explained it with a smile. He did not burst out the full power of the Sun Star Flame, but only exerted the characteristics and power of the sea-level flame power. In this way, you can use the power of flame at will in the future without making people feel too outrageous. Good thing, good thing. I didn't see you wrong, stinky boy. You are so talented, and now I can trust Xuanzhi to you. However, Luo Yuntian laughed excitedly after hearing Ling Xiao's words. As soon as his words came out, Ling Xiao and Luo Lingshuang were instantly stunned. Father, what did you say? Luo Lingshuang was the first to react, and with her blushing face, she immediately became angry at her unassuming father. Ha ha ha, Yuntian, you are in a good mood today, what's wrong? You want to give Ling Shuang's niece a betrothal to others without letting me pass by. However, at this moment, a hearty voice came from outside the hall. Everyone was shocked when they heard this voice. All looked towards the door in unison. I saw a middle-aged man who was wearing a black martial arts uniform and strode in with a terrifying aura in his sturdy body. Minister Ganwu. I didn't expect it to be the minister. The minister and Luo Yuntian are actually good friends, how could we not know? Comma 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 comma. Comma 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 comma. That's right, it was Ganwu, and everyone around was stunned after seeing Ganwu. Everyone is sighing at the horror of Luo Yuntian's connections, and the Luo family still wants to do things. If the head of the Luo family knew about the relationship between Ganwu and Luo Yuntian, he would never dare to touch the Luo family. You must know that Qinwu's strength is stronger than that of the Luo family's head, and he is still very young. It is said that Zhucheng will be the president of the Kaiyan City Warrior Alliance in the future. How can the head of the Luo family be compared to an old thing that is about to die? Bullshit, my daughter still needs your consent to marry. And when he heard Ganwu's words, Luo Yuntian also greeted him with a smile. The relationship between the two does not seem easy. Uncle Ganwu. Luo Lingshuang also hurriedly said hello. The reason why she can do the power level test in advance is because of her martial arts, otherwise his father's financial resources are not enough. Yo, Lingshuang is really pretty today. Come and see who can marry my beautiful niece. Qianwu laughed when he saw Luo Lingshuang. Cough cough, brother Wu, we meet again. However, Ling Xiao, who was beside him at this moment, spoke helplessly. Although he has often come to Luo's house in the past 3 years, he goes directly to Luo's martial arts field when he comes, and leaves when he is done. Of course, it is impossible for Qianwu to come to Luo's house often. However, Ling Xiao's words immediately made everyone around him stunned. Ling Xiao is really you. The moment Qianwu looked back and saw Ling Xiao, he immediately exclaimed. As someone who knows most of Ling Xiao's information, of course he knows the relationship between Ling Xiao and Luo Lingshuang. I just didn't expect that Luo Lingshuang's engagement partner was Ling Xiao. But it seems reasonable to think about it. Yes, he thought too much. You know each other. Luo Yuntian on the side couldn't help but speak. What the hell is going on? Ling Xiao is called brother Ganwu Wu, and he and Ganwu are friends, but Ling Xiao also calls himself uncle. This generation is somewhat messed up. Ha ha ha, you don't even know your own son-in-law. Ling Xiao is an A+ genius certified by my Martial Artist Alliance, and it will be announced directly tomorrow, so I'm not afraid to tell you in advance. Even Lord Situ Tian has seen Ling Xiao in person. According to the president, there is a 90% chance that brother Ling Xiao will become a Grand Master in the future. Brat, you chose a good son-in-law this time. Quote. After hearing Luo Yuntian's words, Ganwu was both happy and envious. Boom. However, his words slammed into the minds of everyone present like a blockbuster. A+ level genius. That is the existence of Earth that only appears in decades. Moreover, he was also personally received by Inspector Satu Tien. You must know that they are not even qualified to meet once. Moreover, the word that 90% of them could become a grandmaster also made their hearts turn violent. At this moment, everyone around was numb. Ha ha ha, brother Ling Xiao will treat my niece well in the future. But we still have our own opinions. You care about my brother, and I call your father-in-law brother. Ignoring the shock of the people around him, Ganwu hurriedly started discussing his relationship with Ling Xiao. As soon as his words came out, everyone around was speechless. Unexpectedly, Ganwu, who is usually serious and even a little scary, is actually such a person. Cough, brother Wu, you misunderstood, Ling Shuang and I are not engaged yet. Ling Xiao had no choice but to explain. It's all right, I'm not getting engaged now, I'll be there, I'm waiting for a wedding wine. Besides, my niece is AC level power user, and she looks so fluffy, it's enough to match you. However, Ganwu smiled and patted Ling Xiao on the shoulder. Nonsense, this kind of genius must be caught by his niece, but it's a pity to run away. Ling Xiao was dumbfounded when she heard this, and she seemed so positive that Luo Lingshuang was your daughter. Uncle Ganwu. However, Ling Xiao is a thick-skinned man but Luo Lingshuang is a little girl, so he glared angrily at Ganwu and Luo Yuntian who mentioned this, and then turned away and ignored them. Okay, Ganwu, don't tease Shuangzhi. Today, Luo was not well entertained. Please don't mind. My Luo family still has important things today. I will apologize to you next time. Helpless, Luo Yuntian could only bow his hands and apologize to the people around him. The people of these big families are also sensible, and they all put down their gifts and left with a smile. They also know that from today onwards, the Luo family is definitely one of the most powerful families in the entire Cayenne city, and even the chairman would never dare to provoke them. Comma 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 comma. Comma 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 comma. In the middle of the night, in the Luo family Starry Sky Garden, Ling Xiao and Luo Lingshuang walked in the garden evolved from the virtual projection. Thank you Ling Xiao today. Finally, Luo Lingshuang whispered to Ling Xiao. We don't need to be so polite. If it wasn't for Uncle Luo, I would have died in the Star Beast district. Ling Xiao smiled slightly after hearing Luo Lingshuang's words. Speaking of which, Ling Xiao is also a little emotional about the things in his memory. In this era, he rarely sees a person like Luo Yuntian. Not only did he save him, but he also gave him a job without food and clothing. Even let him even afford nutrient solution. My father is my father, and I am me. If you count this time, you have already saved me twice. I will definitely find a way to repay you for your kindness. However, Luo Lingshuang spoke seriously after hearing Ling Xiao's words. Ling Xiao suddenly felt helpless. If that's the case, then it just so happens that I have something to trouble you. Helplessly, Ling Xiao could only speak. Whatever, just say it. Luo Lingshuang nodded quickly when she heard Ling Xiao's words. I may have to leave Earth tomorrow for a period of time to participate in the assessment of the imperial capital's number 1 advanced institute. It will take at least a week for me to return. During this period of time, please take care of your leisurely. I don't care if she's alone. Quote. Ling Xiao spoke to Luo Lingshuang seriously. This time, he is going to participate in the selection of Yanyang Academy, and the risk factor is very terrifying. Although he has an immortal body, if he can't come back in a while, he will feel a little worried if he is alone at home. I didn't expect you to be assessed at the first high-level college in the Tibetan family. It just so happened that I have already received the admission notice from the provincial key. I don't need to take the martial arts exam. I will pick up Sister Yoran early tomorrow morning to come and stay at my house for a few days. Luo Lingshuang was a little shocked to hear that Ling Xiao was actually going to participate in the assessment of the first high-level academy in the imperial capital. But after thinking about Ling Xiao's talent, she was relieved. If it weren't for the process of the first academy, with Ling Xiao's strength and talent, it would definitely be an easy thing to enter the first academy directly. Thank you so much then. Ling Xiao also laughed after hearing this. Once the leisurely matter was resolved, he would be relieved. But then again, time flies really fast, we've known each other for 3 years in a blink of an eye. Ling Xiao smiled, then came to the edge of the garden, looked at the brightly lit city in the distance, and said with a smile. Yeah, time flies so fast. I didn't expect that we are all going to enter the advanced martial arts school. And Ling Xiao's words reminded Luo Lingshuang of the determined boy 3 years ago. It was the first time she had been pampered since childhood that she knew that there were still people in this world who needed to support their families at such a young age. In the blink of an eye, 3 years later, that thin teenager has grown to a height that she cannot reach. At this moment, both sides were silent, quietly looking at the night sky of Cayenne City. However, at this moment, a change occurred in the sky above Cayenne City. I saw that dazzling colored rays of light began to bloom in the sky, and these rays of light shone on the clouds in the sky, which directly turned the clouds in the sky into colors. Cayenne actually appeared today. This scene is a once-in-a-lifetime sight. Luo Lingshuang, who saw this scene, said in surprise. Yeah, I remember the instructor said before that because of our special location in Cayenne City, colorful clouds will appear due to changes in the magnetic field for hundreds of years, so it is called Cayenne City. I didn't expect that there will be colorful clouds. Ling Xiao also recalled the instructor's words and said with a smile. As soon as his words came out, Luo Lingshuang was speechless. You can't be romantic, so how can you find the girl you love in the future? My mother told me when she was still alive that all the men and women who have witnessed Cayenne together can go on forever and grow old. You actually use science to explain such a good phenomenon. Quote. Luo Lingshuang complained to the big straight man Ling Xiao. I don't know, there is such a legend. Ling Xiao was also embarrassed. But according to what you said, this thing only appears once in hundreds of years. Do I have to wait hundreds of years to find a girlfriend? You can't just go and find one now. But then again, aren't we two of a man and a woman? Quote. Immediately, the helpless Ling Xiao also looked at the colorful clouds in the sky and replied with a subconscious smile. However, as soon as his words came out, he immediately realized something and quickly shut his mouth. When he looked at Luo Lingshuang, who was beside him, he found that the other party's face was flushed by his words. Against the backdrop of the colorful clouds, Luo Lingshuang's delicate face made Ling Xiao's heart throb inexplicably. An hour later, with the disappearance of the colorful cloud phenomenon, Ling Xiao also quickly found an excuse to sneak back home. My dear, I almost found a daughter-in-law when I went out. Is it because I am too attractive? Ling Xiao in the room scratched his head helplessly. However, having said that, with the passage of time, the memories of me and the previous Ling Xiao actually overlap more and more. Everything he's going through now seems to be the same as what I've been through. Quote. At this moment, Ling Xiao raised his brows. Take his feelings for your sister, Yoren, that is definitely not what it is now after receiving other people's memories. Forget it for now, let's get my rewards first, it's time to change my weapons. Ling Xiao's eyes flickered slightly, and then he directly opened the Martial Artist Alliance Mall. In an instant, a huge virtual interface appeared in front of Ling Xiao's eyes. Although it is a projection, the clarity of the interface is definitely much clearer than the so-called 4K and 8K screens in the previous life. Dear A+ Genius, you have a reward issued, please pay attention to check it. The contents include 1 billion star coins, 1 4th order martial art, and 2 3rd order martial arts. And a 3rd order weapon, and a 3rd order battle suit. Quote. However, at this moment, the virtual reality in front of Ling Xiao also showed such a message. Ling Xiao soon discovered that his balance of 100,000 star coins had soared to 1 billion at this time. These are enough for Ling Xiao to buy advanced nutrient solution. However, what Ling Xiao cared about most was the remaining 4th order exercises, 2 3rd order martial arts, 3rd order weapons, and 3rd order battle suits. Take the 4th order exercise for example. Although it is only a low-grade 4th order, if Ling Xiao wants to buy it, he will definitely not be able to buy it without 100 billion. This is a technique that only master-level powerhouses can exert their full power. This exercise can just replace the titanium battle. In terms of martial arts, in my current situation, it is best to get a movement technique, increase the speed, and a combat martial arts matching the weapon. Ling Xiao did the math, and now he still has one chance to fix the bug. After 2 hours, it will be the next day, and there will be 3 more chances. At that time, Ling Xiao will be able to fix the loopholes in all exercises, martial arts, battlesuits and weapons. As for the energy reserve, it is definitely enough for a short period of time. After all, the current energy reserve is enough for Ling Xiao to raise his strength to the master realm. Since that's the case, first call me the best-selling exercises among all the exercises that I can exchange. By the way, the best ones are those who can cultivate both the body and the soul. Without any hesitation, Ling Xiao spoke directly to them all. Naturally, the best way to cultivate the body and soul is to get one at a time. Otherwise, one more opportunity to repair will be wasted. Didi, accept the instruction to start searching for the target exercises. Following Ling Xiao's order, the brains of the Martial Artist Alliance Mall quickly began to search. The next moment, a series of functions appeared in front of Ling Xiao's eyes. These exercises have various names, but the exchange value is as high as hundreds of billions. If it weren't for the exchange of these martial arts and martial arts skills, they could only be cultivated by themselves, and Ling Xiao would have sold them directly. Double cultivation of soul and body, 4th order low-grade martial arts. Cultivation difficulty, 3 stars 10 stars is the highest. Power, 3 stars 10 stars highest. Introduction. The most basic soul-body dual cultivation method, which can perfectly adapt to the soul and body, is extremely difficult to practice and is deeply loved by countless practitioners. But because of its low power, it did not reach the rare level. Price: 600 billion inches. The introduction of the best-selling exercises made Ling Xiao ponder. This level of power actually sells for 600 billion at a price that is definitely not low. But because the difficulty of cultivation is too low, it has still become a favorite practice method of the public. Because he glanced at other cultivation difficulties, they were all 7 or 8 stars at the bottom, and their power was mediocre. Ling Xiao also looked at other martial arts that were not soul and martial arts, but found that the basic difficulty was 2 or 3 stars. Those who reach 7 or 8 stars are either powerful or require specific conditions to cultivate, so they reach the difficulty of 7 or 8 stars. It seems that if you want to take the path of dual cultivation of soul and martial arts, you will have to persuade many people just because of the difficulty of cultivation. Even after this journey, it is very difficult to achieve success. Quote. Ling Xiao also nodded slightly at this time. However, with thousands of times of comprehension blessed by the innate Taoist body, there is no difference in the practice of 2-3 star and 7-8 star difficulty exercises. Maybe only 10-star difficulty is a little difficult for him. Mal, don't list the best-selling ones for me, find me a practice that has the most power after successful cultivation and the highest blessing for the speed of cultivation. Ling Xiao spoke directly to the Mal without hesitation. Dip. Accept the order. The next moment, all the exercises in front of Ling Xiao disappeared in an instant, replaced by a single exercise. However, when Ling Xiao saw the introduction of this exercise, the whole person was in a spiritual formation. Soul Annihilation, 4th order low-grade martial arts. Cultivation difficulty, 10 stars 10 stars is the highest. Power, 10 stars 10 stars are the highest. Introduction. The most extreme soul-body cultivation method. Cultivating this method requires tearing one's own soul, and then waiting for the soul to be repaired. During the repair process, the strength of the soul will be improved, and the torn soul fragments will also be scattered in the body. Let the body be nourished. Disadvantages: tearing the soul, a little carelessness will make the soul fly away, and the pain caused by tearing is definitely not something ordinary people can bear. Warning: the danger level of this exercise is 10 stars, please do not exchange it for practice. According to statistics, 999 out of 1,000 practitioners died the first time they practiced, and the remaining one died the second time. The third time. Theoretically, this exercise is feasible, but it is actually a suicide exercise. Quote. Price: unlimited, not available for purchase. Quote. These bright red information introductions made Ling Xiao extremely excited. Tearing the soul to improve strength. Isn't this a custom-made exercise for me? It's so developed. Ling Xiao was excited. However, the final price was not available for purchase, which immediately left Ling Xiao speechless. Why can't you buy it and get it out? Just to show Ling Xiao. By the way, the mall, this item cannot be purchased, but I am the number of times of exchange. As long as it is a fourth-order low-grade exercise that can be searched, it can be exchanged unconditionally. Is it possible to exchange this exercise? Ling Xiao was suddenly shocked. The exchange of exercises is naturally not available for all exercises, and those rare exercises that are not in the mall's exercise library cannot be exchanged. After all, those things are absolutely secret, and people who have made great contributions to the human race cannot buy them at all. However, although this exercise is far more powerful than rare exercises, it has not been rated as rare because of its terrifying difficulty and mortality. Therefore, it was rated as a common-level exercise, and even a non-purchasable label was added to prevent others from buying it. But I didn't expect to meet someone like Ling Xiao today, who has an immortal body, and has a number of exchanges. According to the rules, you can't use star coins to buy, but there is no mention of not being able to exchange. At the same time, the rules for exchanging exercises are as long as you can choose from the exercises searched in the library. Divine Soul Obliteration must meet this standard and can be exchanged. Do you exchange this exercise? Quote. Sure enough, after the mall thought about it and found that there was no violation, it immediately began to ask Ling Xiao whether to exchange it. Exchange, definitely exchange. Without the slightest hesitation, Ling Xiao spoke directly to the mall. Congratulations, your respected A+ level genius, you have spent one exercise exchange opportunity, and the exchange of exercises is successful, and the memory transmission is about to start. As Ling Xiao's voice fell, the smart brain of the mall responded instantly. In an instant, a majestic memory emerged from Ling Xiao's smart watch and was directly transmitted to Ling Xiao's mind. At this moment, a taboo-level cultivation technique called Divine Soul Extermination Art directly appeared in his mind. Looking at these cultivation methods, Ling Xiao felt a chill down his spine, but he used his own soul power to tear his soul abruptly. After the soul is seriously injured, it begins to repair itself. After the repair is completed, the general soul will have a lot of growth. As for why he is the most powerful, Ling Xiao also discovered that this exercise has a standard for the level of soul crushing, which is a total of 4 levels. The first degree of fragmentation is to sizzle 1/3 of the soul, and the second degree is to divide the soul into 2 parts. The third level is the soul divided into 5 parts, and the fourth level is the soul divided into 10 parts. Reaching a level of shattering will allow the user to explode 200% of soul damage. In reaching the second level can achieve 400%, the third level is 800%, and the fourth level is 1600% of the horror, which is to directly increase the soul power by 16 times. If you cultivate to this level, the power has even surpassed the ordinary 6th-order cultivation technique. However, let alone the 4th level, ordinary people can't even reach the first level of fragmentation, so they are stunned. The only one in the records that has reached the 3rd level fragmentation level is a spiritual teacher with a soul mutation. Because of this exercise, that genius went from being an ordinary genius all the way up, and finally became the first genius of a certain intermediate galaxy. Known as the invincible super genius under the master level. However, when he wanted to break through the 4th level of fragmentation. But it was directly lost. Seeing this, Ling Xiao was immediately amazed. This exercise is really awesome. Dividing the soul into 10 parts, this kind of pain, I am afraid that few people can bear it. Quote. Ling Xiao sighed with emotion. Then, his eyes flashed, and then he closed his eyes and began to practice according to the description of this exercise. The difficulty of getting started with the exercises is very difficult. The first step is to tear the soul. If you are not a spiritual teacher or a spiritual psychic, you can't even do the basic part. Fortunately, although Ling Xiao is not a spiritual power user and spiritual teacher, he can rely on the innate Tao body to control his own soul at will. This step was successful in seconds. His soul directly transformed into 2 big hands. Then these 2 big hands directly pinched Ling Xiao's own soul. This feeling made Ling Xiao's heart skip a beat before it even started. If you die, you will die, let's take a little first. Ling Xiao took a deep breath, and directly controlled the 2 big hands to suddenly force. Chila. In an instant, a sharp pain came directly. In the next instant, Ling Xiao's soul was torn off a large piece. It hurts. Ling Xiao's face turned pale, however, he knew that it was because his immortal body blocked almost 99% of the pain. Just 1% of the pain made Ling Xiao look like an ordinary person with a broken arm. Sure enough, this soul is not covered. For ordinary people, this kind of pain is much more terrifying than cutting 1,000 cuts and adding salt. Fortunately, at this moment, a majestic spiritual energy burst out from Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness. This energy surged towards the soul that was missing a large piece in an instant. Ling Xiao hurriedly ran the soul-body obliteration decision. Soon the piece of soul torn by him turned into a little starlight and merged into Ling Xiao's body. All this was very fast. In less than a few minutes, Ling Xiao's soul injury completely recovered. Ding! Your mental energy reserve consumption, 30 points, your soul minor injury repair, soul value, plus 30. Ding! Your soul fragment merges into your body, HP, plus 3 inches. As the injury was completely repaired this time, a series of prompt sounds also passed into Ling Xiao's mind. Ling Xiao raised his brows when he heard the prompt. Get 30 soul points directly in one go. However, the speed of my soul's repair is so slow. It seems that the soul is indeed the most important part of the human body. Even if I have the undead body, I can't repair it quickly. Ling Xiao also became dignified at this time. His undead body tends to be more fleshly. At the same time, because the current strength is too weak, the description of the system is that 99% of the physical body can be recovered. The premise is that the degree of damage to the soul does not exceed 90%. It is enough to see that for the current Ling Xiao, the injury of his soul is still very terrifying. But then Ling Xiao smiled. Even if it takes a few minutes to repair a minor injury, even if I increase my strength by 30 points in 3 minutes, I can get a full 600 strength points in an hour. At this speed, within an hour, I can become a powerful innate level powerhouse. One day later, I will be a master level power user. Coupled with the 4th level soul shattering blessing, the entire earth will have no enemy of my unity. Quote. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao immediately became high-spirited. Such a terrifying speed, even if it hurts. Besides, Ling Xiao still has a system. As long as the loopholes are fixed, this exercise can become even more powerful. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have learned the technique, Divine Soul Obliteration. And it has reached the first level of soul crushing. Divine Soul Strength * 200%. Suddenly, another sound came into Ling Xiao's mind. System, let me check how many loopholes this practice has. Ling Xiao did not hesitate and spoke directly to the system. Because he saw how terrifying the potential of this exercise. If it is fully developed, it will definitely make his strength skyrocket in a short period of time. Ding! Found your technique. Divine Soul Obliteration has loopholes, 1 trillion. Whether to fix all loopholes. The cold voice of the system reached Ling Xiao's mind again, and this prompt sound directly caused Ling Xiao's hole to shrink violently. A full 1 trillion vulnerabilities. At this moment, even Ling Xiao himself couldn't help being a little horrified. With such a terrifying number of loopholes, how terrifying his potential is. You know, the last time I heard of such a terrifying loophole was my own undead body. Repair, directly fix all the bugs. Ling Xiao spoke directly to the system without hesitation. Ding! Accept the instruction to start repairing. The next moment, the system responded quickly. Boom! Then a majestic memory flooded into Ling Xiao's mind like a flood. Feeling these memories, Ling Xiao was even more shocked. Finally, after the memory transmission was completed, a new exercise method appeared directly in Ling Xiao's mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your Divine Soul Obliteration has repaired all loopholes and upgraded it to Divine Soul Immortal Judgment, Eternal Life. Soul Immortality, an immortal level legendary exercise. By tearing the soul power can be rapidly increased, and the strength of the soul can be improved during the repair process. At the same time, the torn soul fragments will also be scattered in the body. Let the body be greatly nourished. The repaired soul immortality will eliminate all the bad effects of pain. As long as you can survive the tearing of the soul, you can open different levels of soul fragmentation. Level 1 Fragmentation. 1/10 of the soul tear, 200% spiritual blessing. Level 2 Fragmentation. 1/5 of the soul is torn apart, and the soul is blessed by 400%. Level 3 Fragmentation. Tear 1/2, soul blessing, 800%. 4 Level Broken. Torn into 3 parts, divine soul blessing, 16 times. Level 5 Broken. Torn into 10 pieces, divine soul blessing, 32 times. Level 6 Fragmentation. Tear, 100 copies. Spiritual blessing, 64 times. Level 10 Fragmentation. The soul is transformed into nothingness and then reorganized. Spiritual blessing, 1024 times. Quote. Ling Xiao fell silent after watching the introduction of Immortal Soul. Extraordinary, 1024 times the strength of the soul. Ling Xiao took a deep breath with such a heaven-defying exercise. This exercise is definitely a divine product in the cultivation of soul-type exercises. It is definitely a card that lives up to his 1 trillion loopholes. Although at first he was looking for a soul-body dual cultivation technique, now everything is unimportant. With this cultivation technique, what kind of soul-body double cultivation does he need? If he has a system, it's a big deal, so why not just come up with a physical exercise? And the most insane thing about this exercise is that as long as your strength can tear your own soul, your proficiency is equivalent to reaching the top level. As long as you can bear it, you can directly reach the 10th degree of fragmentation at one time. And the blessing of 1024 times the terrifying strength is enough to defy the sky. At the same time, Ling Xiao also discovered that before the bug was fixed, Ling Xiao could only reach the 4th level fragmentation level if the soul was divided into 10 parts, but now after the repair, it can reach the 5th level fragmentation level, which means that he has a full 32 times the soul. Strength support. It seems that the system is forcing me to focus on cultivating spiritual power. Let's try it first. According to the introduction of the system, there should be no danger in reaching the 5th level fragmentation level. Ling Xiao was shocked when he saw this scene. Without hesitation, he closed his eyes directly. Om. In an instant, Ling Xiao's consciousness entered his sea of consciousness. In the sea of knowledge, Ling Xiao's soul light ball is also quietly suspended there. Om. Suddenly, under a thought of Ling Xiao, his soul light ball suddenly stretched out 2 big hands. Buzz buzz. The next moment, another big hand emerged one after another. All the big hands directly pinched Ling Xiao's soul at this moment. Chi 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 chi. When Ling Xiao controlled these big hands and suddenly exerted force, Ling Xiao's soul was torn apart at this moment. Each of the 10 big hands is holding a piece of Ling Xiao's soul. Sure enough, just like the description of the divine soul immortality art, Ling Xiao's soul didn't feel any pain when it was torn apart. It's different if the system has been repaired. However, the weakness that came from the depths of consciousness also made Ling Xiao dignified. It seems that the system is right. Although I blocked all pain, if it exceeds the limit of the soul, even I will die. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao, who originally wanted to see if his soul could be torn apart, also stopped. Just practice, no need to work hard. He believed in the system's data very much. He said that the degree of damage cannot exceed 90%, so it must not exceed 90%. Om. At this moment, Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness erupted again with violent mental power. In an instant, Ling Xiao felt that his biggest piece of soul began to repair quickly. As for the remaining soul fragments, they directly left the sea of consciousness and then merged into the cells of his whole body. With the fusion of soul fragments, Ling Xiao also clearly felt that his control over his body became more and more skilled. At the same time, during the repair process, Ling Xiao also clearly felt that his soul force began to soar at an extremely terrifying speed. Even the physical body began to strengthen rapidly. At the same time, Ling Xiao felt that his soul began to sublimate at this moment. After the restoration, the strength of the soul also skyrocketed at an extremely terrifying speed. This surge in strength has kept Ling Xiao's volume unchanged, but the degree of solidification has made a qualitative leap. With the qualitative change of the soul, Ling Xiao knew that the huge solar star flame supernatural light ball above the sea also began to condense frantically, and finally evolved from the original fire red to a golden fire ball. The intensity of the flame has increased dozens of times. Ling Xiao was shocked by this scene, but he was relieved when he remembered that the soul was torn into 10 parts, which is the 5th level of fragmentation. After all, the 5th level fragmentation level can increase its own terrifying strength by 32 times. If such a powerful strength erupts, according to the current fighting strength of Ling Xiao, even some weaker grandmasters can be wiped out. However, because the injury this time was too serious, the repair this time took half an hour to complete. Ding! Your mental energy reserve consumption, 300 points, your soul's serious injury repair, soul value, plus 300. Congratulations! Your soul realm has been successfully promoted to the 1st level of the innate realm. Ding! Your soul fragment is integrated into your body, chi and blood value, plus 100, your martial arts realm has been successfully upgraded to innate realm 1st layer. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully splitting the soul into 10 parts and repairing it. The soul has undergone a qualitative change, the degree of brokenness of the soul has reached level 5, and the blessing of the soul has been obtained, 3200%. A system prompt sound also reached Ling Xiao's mind at this time. This prompt sound made Ling Xiao shrink slightly. Cha, it only took half an hour to improve my 3 small realms, from the 7th day of the day after tomorrow to the 1st level of the innate, this is just hanging up. This time, Ling Xiao was really excited. You know, tearing the soul, he just finished it in less than a minute. Although the repair took some time, it was only half an hour. If it is an ordinary cultivator, even a great master, or even a planet-level powerhouse who can destroy the planet, let alone the soul is divided into 10 parts, even if 1/10 of the soul is torn apart, there is not a lot of medicine to heal the wounds. Hundreds of years of cultivation will never get better. You must know that for others, the strength improved after tearing the soul repaired when cultivating divine soul obliteration is insignificant. What they want is the terrifying divine soul strength blessing of divine soul obliteration Ju. You must know that this kind of blessing can be added to any martial arts and abilities. However, for Ling Xiao, tearing the soul is even more awesome, because he has the undead body and can quickly repair any injuries in the body. At the same time, it can greatly increase the strength of one's own soul when repairing. Under the combination of the two, it has simply reached the level of opening. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao directly opened his own attribute table. Property sheet. Name, Ling Xiao. Number of repairs, 0 3 times a day. Martial Dao realm, innate 1st layer. Soul realm, congenital 1st layer. Qi and blood, 1054 1 point equals 300 kg strength. Soul, 1035. Talent, undead body SSS level. Combat power 300%, innate Dao body SS level, blessing 3000 times, titanium battle body C level, 300% speed, 500% defense, Sunstar flame S level. Cultivation technique, titanium battle 4th order low grade, perfect, 300% cultivation speed, soul immortal judgment, eternal life, 5th order shattering 32 times. Martial arts, titanium battle lower tier 4, perfect, 300% cultivation speed, titanium fist, lower tier 4, perfect, 400% fist power. Beast pet, hell 3-headed dragon, 4th order 1 star. Looking at all the attributes he has now, Ling Xiao has endless pride in his heart. With such strength, there are absolutely few people in the entire earth who can compete with me. The corner of Ling Xiao's mouth rose slightly. Of course, he didn't dare to say that he was invincible. After all, which of those master-level powerhouses did not practice the 4th and 5th level exercises, using 4th and 5th level martial arts and weapons? Some even have high-level talents. Of course, even so, with Ling Xiao's current S-level ability, the 300% strength of the undead body, and the 32 times the strength of the immortal soul, Ling Xiao's soul fighting power can definitely reach the ranks of the masters, and it's not at the top level yet. As for the combat power of martial arts, after all, the innate realm 9th layer is 10 times weaker than the Grandmaster 1st layer. Ling Xiao estimates that her pure physical combat power is only equivalent to the innate 9 heavens. There is still an hour and a half left before my repair times will be refreshed. First, I will exchange martial skills and weapons, and then I can practice 3 times at the limit. I can also practice new martial skills when repairing my soul, and I can repair it directly at that time. Ling Xiao thought for a while and then opened them all. There are 2 martial arts, one of which is naturally a fire-type supernatural martial arts. After all, with such a powerful spiritual strength, if there is no matching martial arts, it will never be able to exert the most powerful strength. As for the second martial arts, he originally planned to get a boxing method, but after thinking about it, the boxing method does not require weapons. With the ability to repair the loopholes, he will definitely be able to repair some heaven-defying weapons in the future. With these powerful weapons, wouldn't it be a waste to fight people with fists? And the titanium fist technique is enough for the time being, so Ling Xiao is going to choose the weapon first, and then choose the second martial art after choosing the weapon. As for battle uniforms, there are only a few styles. Ling Xiao randomly chose a set of low-grade 4th order ones. Analyze them all. My tendency to fight is that melee combat can make me injured, and the most powerful one is the best. What weapon should I choose in this situation? Ling Xiao spoke directly to Zhenao of them all. After analysis, among the conditions you mentioned, the gun is the most suitable for you. The systematic analysis came out soon, however, this result made Ling Xiao stunned. What is a gun? Although the power of a long gun is indeed good, how do you calculate that it will hurt me? Ling Xiao asked suspiciously. After big data analysis, as the strength becomes stronger, swordsmen, and even boxing masters can derive corresponding long-range moves such as sword chi or fist gang, and they are the main means of combat. But only the strong who use the spear, even if the spear is condensed, it is mainly close combat. Therefore, the probability of physical injury is extremely high. Although the lethality of this close-out attack is more terrifying, the mortality rate is also higher than that of other types of warriors. It perfectly matches your fighting tendencies. Quote. Facing Ling Xiao's doubts, Zhenao also directly analyzed all the battle data and gave an explanation that Ling Xiao couldn't refute. So that's the case, then this long spear is really suitable for me. Ling Xiao immediately touched his chin. If that's the case, then it's decided. Find me a tier 3 fire attribute spear. Find me the most expensive one. Without any hesitation, Ling Xiao spoke directly to Zhenao. The most expensive is naturally the best, and now you don't need to spend money to use the number of exchanges. If you don't take advantage of this kind of cheapness, it's just a bastard. Retrieve the weapon you need. The efficiency of the Maul's brain is very fast, and it has the properties of a long spear in just an instant. Flame Spear, a 3rd order top quality weapon, which adds a 3rd order top grade fire attribute Star Core, which has powerful fire attribute damage. Price: 100 billion. Convertible. Note that the exchanged item can only be used by oneself. If the exchanged item dies, the Warrior Alliance will recycle its weapon. Quote. Looking at the weapon that appeared, Ling Xiao didn't care. It is naturally an ordinary weapon now. Even Ling Xiao's strength can shatter him with a single blow, but after the loophole is fixed, it will be different. System: find me another fire attribute supernatural martial skill. There is also a marksmanship. Find me the most powerful among the 3rd order best. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao spoke directly to the system. The difficulty is not important at all, the important thing is whether it is strong or not, any martial skill, as long as it is strong enough. Accept the order and start searching. The smart brain of the Maul runs quickly. In the next instant, 2 more martial arts appeared in front of Ling Xiao's eyes. Flame Domain Marksmanship, 3rd order top grade martial arts. Cultivation difficulty: 7 stars, 10 stars is the highest. Power: 8 stars, 10 is the highest. Introduction: infuse the spear with the power of fire, which bursts out extremely powerful power. Disadvantage: it requires the power of B-level ability Yan to burst into full power. The higher the level of the infused fire power, the more powerful it is. Price: 14 million inches. Ling Xiao glanced at the first martial skill and was immediately satisfied. Isn't this a coincidence? Mine is an S-rank Sun Star Flame, and its power is definitely on the table. Ling Xiao smiled. At the same time, he also found that although he could bless Sun Star Flame on his marksmanship, he could not release the full power of Sun Star Flame. For example, now the Sun Star Flame has increased by 32 times, and its power can be said to be devastating. It is reasonable to say that blessings on marksmanship can burst out even more terrifying power, but in fact, it can only burst out several times the power. With the blessing of marksmanship itself, the power can soar to 20 or 30 times or even more. But there is no real horror of supernatural skills. You must know that if Ling Xiao got a flame ability skill of the same level, under the power of Sun Star Flame 32 times, it would be able to explode several times the power, and the final power would definitely be more than 100 times more powerful. This is also the main reason why Ling Xiao needs a supernatural skill while getting a fire-type marksmanship. In the future, my physical combat strength and marksmanship will be my strength. I will show it to others. When it is really in danger, let them see what is the real despair. Ling Xiao suddenly smiled brightly when he thought of this. I don't know what surprises the fire ability skill can't bring me. Ling Xiao was also looking forward to it. Immediately, he looked directly at the flame supernatural skill. This look immediately made his eyes light up. Yan Yan Explosion, the third order top grade martial skill. Cultivation difficulty, 8 stars 10 stars is the highest. Power, 9 stars 10 is the highest. Introduction. A pillar of fire that condenses and burns everything with the power of fire, and can destroy everything in its path. The higher the level of the infused fire power, the more powerful it is. Disadvantages. The power is too powerful, and there is a great possibility of burning oneself without sufficient physical strength, so the difficulty of cultivation is increased to 8 stars. Price. 16 million inches. This supernatural skill is also extremely powerful. The power can reach 9 stars, which is enough to see that this martial arts is definitely at the peak level among all the third-order best martial arts. Good stuff, exchange it directly, exchange it with the previous marksmanship. Ling Xiao spoke directly to the system without hesitation. The redemption is successful and the memory transfer will start soon, please prepare. Following Ling Xiao's voice, a system prompt sounded to Ling Xiao's mind. Boom. The next moment, a violent memory flooded into Ling Xiao's mind like a flood. This kind of memory transmission made Ling Xiao feel a little uncomfortable. The transmission without any sense of incongruity with the system is basically 2 levels. But even so, for Ling Xiao, who came 100,000 years ago, it is still very cool. Soon, all the contents of the 2 martial arts were transmitted to Ling Xiao's mind over time. Feeling these 2 memories, Ling Xiao also nodded slightly. Your exchange this time is completely over. If you need to continue to buy things, you can directly use star coins to buy them. The weapon you exchanged, the flame spear, and the third order superb battle suit will be delivered to your door within 10 minutes. Please note that everything you redeem is a reward and cannot be sold or transferred. After you die, you will be directly reclaimed by the Warrior Alliance headquarters. When your strength reaches the master level, everything will belong to you personally. Quote. As Ling Xiao finished the exchange this time, a notification sound also followed, and Ling Xiao nodded slightly after hearing it. Will it be delivered to the door within 10 minutes? It seems that the weapons and battle uniforms of the third order best quality need to be transferred from the imperial capital, but it is also that the warriors of this level are the ordinary Shantian realm. And I've only loosened up so much the day after tomorrow. If I show all my strengths, I don't know if I can get a better reward. Quote. Ling Xiao was also a little regretful at this time. If he had known that these things were so good, he might as well raise his genius level a little bit, so that he could get more good things. But then he laughed. If he was an S-rank genius, he might have passed the Divine Soul Obliteration art. After all, the Divine Soul Obliteration art is a low-level 4th rank in the mall. If Ling Xiao is searching for a high level, if there is a practice method, you will definitely not be able to find it. In this kind of exercise with a potential of 1 trillion loopholes, there is absolutely no second part in the exercise library of the entire human race. Even if there is, he is very difficult to meet. Therefore, the current situation can be regarded as a crooked fight, and he has obtained the most powerful exercise. Let's practice first, and let's get started with these 2 martial arts. Ling Xiao closed his eyes without hesitation, and then used his big hand to grab his soul in an instant. Chila. In an instant, with the whole force of tearing, Ling Xiao's own soul was instantly torn into 10 parts by his terrifying power. In an instant, a feeling of weakness poured into Ling Xiao's body. Boom. The next moment, the energy stored in Ling Xiao's body also rushed into Ling Xiao's soul and began to repair quickly. As for Ling Xiao, he began to deduce 2 martial arts in his mind. As Ling Xiao began to deduce, his consciousness instantly constructed a huge martial arts field. All the rules around this martial arts field seem to be integrated into the heaven and the earth, and they are the same as in reality. This is an ability attached to Ling Xiao's innate Tao body. Use Ling Xiao's perception of the surrounding world to build a world that is almost identical to the rules of the real world. Many strong people will do this, but the only difference is that even in the world built by the strongest man in the human race, martial God, many rules are different from the real world, and things he doesn't know naturally cannot be constructed. For example, if you only know 1 + 1 = 2, you have to build a complete mathematical system, which is simply a fantasy. However, the world that Ling Xiao constructed at this time was connected to the real world with the innate Taoist body as a bridge. Rules are also shared. Equivalent to his fantasy world and the real world is not the slightest gap. As long as any martial arts and martial arts cultivated in it are established, they can also be established in the real world. Although the Shantian Taoist body has almost no blessings for combat, how can I put it, his auxiliary effect is as good as a cow. Ling Xiao smiled slightly when he thought of this, and then his right hand moved slightly toward the void. In an instant, a flaming spear appeared in his hand. Try your marksmanship first. Ling Xiao didn't hesitate, and directly stabbed into the void with a pistol. Chang. In an instant, a sound of breaking through the air came directly into Ling Xiao's mind. After that, Ling Xiao didn't hesitate, and once again burst out into the void, shot after shot. Pick, prick, hack, sweep. These, each gun is the most basic skills. If you want to learn any martial arts, the most important thing is these foundations. And Ling Xiao, a person with no foundation, can only start from scratch now. Fortunately, he has the innate Tao body, and after every move is played, infinite inspiration will burst out in his mind. His second style, which was still a little unfamiliar the first time, was comparable to those who had practiced guns for several years. The 10th time, it was someone who had surpassed some marksmanship. After the 1000th time, Ling Xiao's every move already contains a master-level artistic conception. After arriving here, more than an hour has passed in the outside world. During this period, he was torn twice again after his soul had been reorganized. To be precise, Ling Xiao hadn't even started to learn the flame domain marksmanship at this time. However, Ling Xiao was already addicted to the world of marksmanship and didn't care much about the outside world. The self transformed into consciousness is still madly cultivating the basic moves. Chang. Finally, when Ling Xiao practiced more than 1,500 times, a dazzling spear burst out from his spear in an instant. The next moment, the spear light turned into a giant energy spear and slammed into the ground heavily. Boom! With a loud noise that shook the sky and the earth, the spear light burst into flames, and the dazzling brilliance instantly dyed the entire space golden red. This feeling. At this moment, Ling Xiao was a little shocked to see the long spear in his hand, because he didn't use any martial arts skills just now, but the power that burst out was at least twice as powerful as his full power burst. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have successfully activated the marksmanship skills. Level. Proficient in the early stage, 0.001,000ths the use of marksmanship combat power blessing, 200%. However, at this time, a system prompt sound was also passed into Ling Xiao's mind at this time, and when he heard the prompt sound, his eyes suddenly brightened. Using the power of the marksmanship is twice as powerful. There is such a good thing. How come the punches I have studied for so long have not been triggered? Ling Xiao was a little excited but also puzzled. He practiced titanium fist for more than 10 times longer, but he didn't trigger the marksmanship skill, which made him a little puzzled. Ding! Everyone's talent for different weapons is different. Some people have a high talent for marksmanship, some people are good at swordsmanship, and some are good at swordsmanship. If you find the right talent for you, you will get twice the result with half the effort. Otherwise, even if you work hard, you will not gain much. After systematic calculation, the host's talent for marksmanship is much higher than that of boxing, as well as all other weapons. Quote. Facing Ling Xiao's doubts, the system quickly responded. I see. Ling Xiao nodded slightly after hearing this, and then he directly opened the introduction of the technique, which he had never heard of. Skills are triggered whenever a martial artist cultivates a specific weapon or has his own experience and insight. Comprehend the skills of marksmanship. When using marksmanship, the power of marksmanship can be greatly improved. The higher the skill level, the more terrifying the blessing effect. Level division: entry level, skilled, proficient level, perfect level, master level, artistic conception level. Each level is divided into 4 levels: early stage, middle stage, late stage, peak. Note: the skill level is the explosive power that can be developed by the current strength. The same skill has different explosive power at different levels. For example, if the marksmanship skills of a master level expert are entry level. If his memory is preserved and his realm goes back to the acquired realm, the power of his entry level skills will reach the master level. That is to say, while improving strength, you also need to deepen your understanding of skills. If the speed of skill experience improvement cannot keep up with the speed of strength improvement, even if the experience of using marksmanship has increased dozens of times, the skill level will drop. Remarks: the skill level of the host is constant, not affected by this rule. The strength skyrockets, and the system will automatically make up the corresponding experience value. And the skill level of the host needs to be improved by self-study to obtain the corresponding proficiency and improve the skill level. Quote. Looking at the introduction, Ling Xiao also smiled with satisfaction. To put it bluntly, skills are to become a master of a certain weapon after practicing for a long time. These rich experiences and insights can improve the attack power of the corresponding weapon. For ordinary people, if the strength is not improved, the experience value and perception will be lowered, and the skill level will be lowered and the corresponding strength will not be exerted. After all, the stronger the strength, the higher the explosive power of the pair of weapons. Everyone's explosive power has increased. If yours has not improved, your level will naturally be equivalent to a drop. To a certain extent, it can even only disappear from the crowd. However, Ling Xiao himself is different. Even if he has the system to make sure that his strength has skyrocketed from Shantian first layer to the Grandmaster level at one time, his skill value is still in the early stage of proficiency. It seems that I have time to practice more marksmanship skills in the future. This thing is a good thing. Ling Xiao's eyes flickered slightly, and having a system means that his skills will only become stronger and stronger in the future. The explosive force will also become more and more terrifying. Thinking of this, he directly mobilized the memory of the flame domain marksmanship from his mind. Immediately, Ling Xiao began to practice according to the introduction of Yanyu marksmanship. To be honest, this thing deserves to be a top-grade third-tier martial arts. If Ling Xiao is not proficient in marksmanship at the proficient level, he would not even be able to understand some power-generating skills, let alone practice. But fortunately, Ling Xiao has already laid the foundation. As time goes by, Ling Xiao has improved the Yanyu marksmanship to the entry level at a very fast speed. Ding! Congratulations to the host, studying marksmanship for 10 minutes, and obtaining marksmanship proficiency, 100. And at this moment, a prompt sound also came. It turns out that the proficiency is so improved. Ling Xiao smiled suddenly, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. If calculated at this speed, he will soon be able to improve his marksmanship skills to the mid-term. He then continued his research. With the passage of minutes and seconds, Ling Xiao learned the flame domain marksmanship to the proficient level in just an hour. But to achieve perfection, even he needs at least a few hours. During this time, Ling Xiao's weapons and battle uniforms have been delivered. After receiving it, Ling Xiao naturally continued to practice. Ding! A new day is coming, the number of bug fixes is refreshed. Your current level is 4 times. However, at this moment, a prompt sound also reached Ling Xiao's mind. He was stunned when he heard the sound. But then he laughed. Almost forgot, I'm already at the innate level now, and the system said that the number of bug fixes per day will increase once a day is raised by 1 level. Exactly, I'm still worried that my mental energy reserves are not enough. One more time now fixes one more star core bug. Quote. Ling Xiao immediately smiled. After all, he has a lot to fix this time. There is one weapon, 2 martial arts, and he is not ready to repair the battle suit, but even so, the number of repairs 3 times is still not enough. However, his previous mental power reserve was only 8,000 points, and now he has consumed more than 1,000 points. According to his current speed, the mental power reserve will be exhausted around the afternoon. However, my martial arts have not been perfected yet. If I repair my proficiency in martial arts now, after I fix the loopholes, I will have to start from scratch. Now I only need to practice for a few hours. I am afraid it will be a few hours by then. Months or even years. If the potential is great, it is impossible to achieve perfection even for hundreds of years. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed slightly, and without hesitation, he closed his eyes again and continued to start his practice. As for the number of repairs now and in a few hours have no effect on him. Ding! Congratulations to the host, studying marksmanship for 10 minutes, and obtaining marksmanship proficiency, 100. Ding! Congratulations to the host, studying marksmanship for 10 minutes, and obtaining marksmanship proficiency, 100. Ding! Congratulations to the host, studying marksmanship for 10 minutes, and obtaining marksmanship proficiency, 100. At the same time, a prompt sound echoed in Ling Xiao's mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your marksmanship skill level has been increased to mid-proficiency 0.003, and the marksmanship strength blessing has been increased to 250%. And just after Ling Xiao practiced for dozens of minutes, a prompt sound also reached Ling Xiao's mind at this time. But Ling Xiao didn't care after hearing it, and continued his cultivation. Ding! Congratulations to the host, studying marksmanship for 10 minutes, and obtaining marksmanship proficiency, 100. Ding! Congratulations to the host, studying marksmanship for 10 minutes, and obtaining marksmanship proficiency, 100. Ding! Congratulations to the host, studying marksmanship for 10 minutes, and obtaining marksmanship proficiency, 100. Finally, another full 5 hours passed. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your marksmanship skill level has been increased to late-stage proficiency 0.005, and your marksmanship strength has been increased to 300%. In an instant, a prompt sound also came to Ling Xiao's mind. However, it was an instant upgrade. The point that stuck Ling Xiao for several hours broke through in an instant at this moment. Ling Xiao, who was originally standing on the ground, suddenly lit up in front of his eyes, and the next moment his feet shot straight into the sky. The 7th style of the Yanyu marksmanship. The Yanyu. In an instant, a violent drink erupted directly from his mouth. Chang! In an instant, an earth-shattering gunshot erupted from the tip of his gun. Aware of the martial arts field, Ling Xiao stabbed a 100-meter-long golden flame into the void with a spear and slammed into the ground like a meteor. Boom! In an instant, a dazzling golden flame illuminated the entire consciousness martial arts field. For several kilometers, it was a field of flames. Flame domain marksmanship. Dacheng. It is finally over. In the sky, Ling Xiao, who was flying in the void under the power of golden flames, couldn't help laughing when he saw the scene below. By the way, I can actually fly. Isn't flying something only master-level experts can do? However, at this moment, Ling Xiao, who finally came to his senses, suddenly found that he was actually flying in the sky in the space of consciousness. You must know that the consciousness performance field here communicates with the real world, so that Ling Xiao can fly means that he can also fly in reality. Immediately, he began to recall the introduction to the master-level powerhouse. Introduced in the data, the master-level powerhouse can rely on his own martial Dao Qi against the planet's gravitational restraint to achieve the purpose of flying. It seems that it is not just Qi, as long as it is any energy system, as long as Dao can fight against the planet it can fly while restrained by gravity. Some powerful innate level powerhouses can also do it, and it is said that some superpowers such as spiritual masters can even use telekinesis to fly in the realm of forging. My current strength is whether it is supernatural power or my own strength. If I want to fly, it's more than enough. Quote. From the introduction in his memory, Ling Xiao instantly analyzed the reason why he could fly. In a good mood, he began to fly rapidly in the sky. Although it's just fake, everything is exactly the same as the real world. Ling Xiao can feel the joy of flying. It's time to fix the loopholes in Yanyu's marksmanship. I wonder if you can surprise me. After flying in a circle, Ling Xiao stopped again, and then looked at his flame domain marksmanship. Ding! Found a martial skill. There is a loophole in the flame domain marksmanship. Asterisk. Ding! Found a loophole in martial arts, Yanyu marksmanship, 300,000. Is it repaired? However, at this moment, a system notification sound was also transmitted to Ling Xiao's mind at this time. Hearing the sound, his eyes flashed. 300,000. According to the calculation, 1 to 10 loopholes are tier 1, 10 to 100 is tier 2, 100 is tier 3, 1000 is tier 4, and 10,000 is tier 5, which is equivalent to the talent of the Great Master Realm. If you are qualified to practice, then this 300,000 is the 6th order. This is only used by the powerhouses of the planetary level. Planetary level, it is said that it has been able to explode planets. The potential of 300,000 is already very good. If that's the case, just fix it. Quote. Ling Xiao decided to fix it without hesitation after thinking about it. Ding! Accept the instruction to start repairing. The next moment, the system's prompt sound also reached Ling Xiao's mind. Boom! In an instant, the memory of the practice method poured into Ling Xiao's mind like a flood. Feeling this memory, Ling Xiao also closed his eyes and began to realize it. Moreover, the most important thing is that while accepting these memories, Ling Xiao is also rapidly cultivating. Soon, with the passage of time, a brand new martial art was completely controlled by Ling Xiao. Ding! Congratulations to the host, repairing all the loopholes in the flame domain marksmanship, and obtaining the martial skill, explosive flame meteor marksmanship. Meteorite marksmanship, a 6th order mid-grade martial skill. A powerful martial skill created by a certain powerhouse after destroying tens of thousands of stars. Has a very powerful fire attribute attack power. Remarks. This martial art can be more powerful in combination with the sun star flame you have. Quote. However, at this moment, a prompt sound also reached Ling Xiao's mind at this time. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed when he heard the sound. When he was in control of this martial art, he already knew the horror of this martial art from the introduction. You must know that the full blast of the previous flame domain marksmanship can only increase Ling Xiao's combat power by 3 times. Of course, this is not the pure martial arts explosive power of Sun Xingyan. Because the normal 3rd order best martial arts are explosive power of this level. To the 4th order low quality is 4 times. But the explosive power of this 6th rank mid-rank martial skill is 10 times terrifying. If such a powerful explosive power is combined with the sun star flame, the power can be imagined. Immediately, Ling Xiao directly opened his own attribute table. Property sheet. Name, Ling Xiao. Repairs, 3/4. Martial Dao Realm, innate double heaven. Soul Realm, innate fourfold heaven. Qi and blood, 2254 1 point equals 300 kilograms strength. Soul, 4635. Skills, marksmanship skills proficient late, 300%, 0.5 thousandths. Talent, undead body SSS level, combat power 300%, innate Dao body SS level, blessing 3000 times titanium battle body C level, 300% speed, 500% defense Sunstar flame S level. Technique, titanium battle 4th order low grade, 300% training speed, soul immortal judgment, eternal life, 5th order shattering, 32 times. Martial arts, titanium fist, lower tier 4, 400% meteor spear technique, middle tier 6, 1000%. Beast pet, hell 3-headed dragon, 4th order 2 star. Ling Xiao also sighed when he saw his realm at this time. In just a few hours, he almost improved to a great realm. It is indeed a powerful technique of immortality level. Before long, his realm will reach the master level. Now that my martial arts combat power is combined with this meteor spear technique, the multiple of my martial arts blessing should have reached a level similar to that of the soul's combat power. However, I still have the supernatural skill Yanyan explosion that I haven't practiced yet. If the training ends and the loopholes are repaired at the same time, my divine soul combat power will once again surpass the strength of martial arts. By the way, and my long gun has not been repaired, let's repair it together. Quote. Ling Xiao's eyes flickered, and without any hesitation, he left the consciousness arena and walked to the corner of the room. There are 2 boxes here. Ling Xiao pressed his hand on the authentication area of the 2 boxes and input his own blood power. Dip. The power of blood test is completed. The storage box is open. After a beat, the 2 boxes slowly opened. In one of the boxes was a red flaming spear. In the other box is a smartwatch. Ling Xiao took off the old-fashioned smartwatch in his hand and put on the smartwatch in his hand. Dip. The data migration is successful. The martial arts uniform is launched. Suddenly, with a beep sound, a battle suit spread out from the smartwatch at the next moment, and the battle suit spread directly to Ling Xiao's body, covering Ling Xiao's whole body. The eyes are all put into the new combat effectiveness detector. Even the clothes on Ling Xiao's body were taken off directly. The streamlined appearance and strong ductility make Ling Xiao feel very comfortable. Wearing this set of clothes, Ling Xiao even felt that her appearance had improved a lot. Good stuff. Ling Xiao naturally likes this top-tier third-order battle suit on her body. Immediately, he scanned his entire body directly with the masked fighter. This time Ling Xiao did not use the innate way to hide his breath. Dip. Analysis is over. Target data. Martial Dao Realm. Innate Realm Double Heaven. Soul Realm. Innate Fourfold Heaven. Combat Effectiveness Evaluation. Half-Step Grandmaster Level. Remarks. It is suspected of practicing spiritual exercises, with strong spiritual power, but the data is not enough. Scanning the battle data will get more intuitive data. Quote. Soon, a prompt sound came to Ling Xiao's mind. Hearing this analysis, Ling Xiao is also amazed at the awesomeness of this thing. I'm standing here, and I can sense that my combat power is at least a half-step Grandmaster without hiding, and this third-order top-grade battle apparatus is really not built. Unexpectedly, the battle suit and the battle rig are actually a set, this time it seems to be a profit. Quote. Ling Xiao also smiled with satisfaction. Then he glanced at the long gun beside him. Ding. Detected a fire attribute spear with a loophole. 80,000, whether to fix it. The loopholes of the flame spear made Ling Xiao frown. Although the number of loopholes cannot be said to be low, it did not reach the level that makes Ling Xiao amazed. Of course, it is definitely enough for the current Ling Xiao. However, it is also a weapon of the Grandmaster level. The combat power of a Grandmaster First Layer is 1000 times that of a Grandmaster First Layer powerhouse. If a weapon can be used by a Grandmaster level powerhouse, then his power is naturally not weak. Besides, there are 80,000 loopholes. Even some of the strong masters of the 7th or 8th level of the Great Master are afraid that they will not have it. Quote. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao was about to fix it, but then he suddenly remembered something. Wait, I need to explode my clothes every time I fight. After all, not being beaten into scum doesn't seem to help me much in improving my strength, but I can't use those furs as clothes every time, right? Suddenly Ling Xiao frowned slightly. For the current him, the third-order best weapons are not enough, but they can make a living, but he does not have this hobby when he leaves him naked every time. Look at the number of loopholes in the battle suit. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and then he looked directly at the battle suit on the side. Ding. Detected that a third-order top-quality battle suit has a loophole. 1.2 million, whether to fix it. However, this test immediately caught Ling Xiao's eyes. The loopholes in this battle suit are as high as 1.2 million. If it is repaired, it is a powerful battle suit that can only be broken by a star-level powerhouse that is more terrifying than a planet-level powerhouse. Intel, if a star-level powerhouse explodes with full force, it can easily destroy a star that is 1,000,000 times larger than a planet. This is definitely a real devastated, mythical figure. Ling Xiao doesn't know how many stellar-level powerhouses are in the entire human race, but if you think about it, you can tell, there are definitely not many. That is to say, it is difficult for a powerhouse of this level to kill Ling Xiao with this battle suit. This thing is much more fragrant than the flame spear. The flame spear can't be used for a few days at most, but this battle suit can at least last me a long time. Ling Xiao thought of this without hesitation. System, fix the loopholes in the battle suit for me. Then Ling Xiao spoke directly. Ding. Accept the instruction to start repairing. A system prompt sound also reached Ling Xiao's mind. Ohm. In an instant, a golden light that only Ling Xiao could see enveloped Ling Xiao's whole body. To be precise, it was the battle suit on Ling Xiao, the smartwatch in his hand, and the battle rig in his eyes. These three items were made into a set, and naturally they were all repaired at one time, which also surprised Ling Xiao. After all, which of these three things is not a good thing? Ohm. Soon, the golden light gradually dissipated. The silver battle suit on Ling Xiao's body has also been turned into a black battle suit with silver lines on it. The smartwatch is also turned into black and integrated. It seems that the breath that blooms from the previous silver battle suit is too terrifying. This blackness seemed to devour everything around it. Ding. Congratulations to the host, repairing the loopholes in the battle suit. The battle suit is optimized to Black Kill Battle Suit. 7th Order Low Grade. Black Killing Battle Suit. 7th Order Low Grade. A suit created by the unique thing in the Black Hole Star Core, Black Killing Mine. Combat Suit. It has extremely high defense, malleability and self-healing ability. After being destroyed, as long as the atomic structure is not damaged, it can rely on its own black hole level gravity to absorb broken items and quickly repair it. Because of its characteristics, the Black Kill Battle Suit. It can be put away in an instant and opened in an instant. At the same time, it can also reduce its defense standard. The lowest and the acquired martial artist can be shattered, and the highest can be shattered by the triple heaven of the star realm. At the same time, because of the extremely high ductility, the battle suit can be extended and wrapped around the weapon, so that the weapon can obtain the same level of defense as the battle suit. Smart Watch. It has a 7th order intelligence, which is the same as the current highest intelligence level of the human race, which can shield the highest intellectual brain of the human race. But because of the same level, it cannot be invaded. Will not be invaded. Battle Instrument. The 7th order battle instrument can instantly detect the target data and summarize its strength level. It is the highest level battle rig for the current human race. Quote. With the two beeps, Ling Xiao also knew what his battle suit had become after the upgrade. The black killing suit, not only from the defensive power of his own battle suit, but also his smart watch and battle instrument, is definitely the pinnacle of the human race. Even the ones used by the god of war are not as good as those used by Ling Xiao. And what surprised Ling Xiao was the characteristics of the black killing battle suit. To actually be able to adjust his defense value, this is simply a gift to Ling Xiao. If it were an ordinary battle suit, I would also worry that others would not be able to break the defense and hurt me, so that my physical strength would not be able to improve quickly. Well, now, the black killing battle suit perfectly solves this problem. Not only can it explode in an instant, but it can also be repaired quickly. It's just tailor-made for me. Quote. After thinking of this, Ling Xiao immediately smiled happily. Now it seems that I don't need to be naked anymore. You know, when I went to the number 10 star beast star yesterday, Ling Xiao was completely naked for a long time. As for weapons, don't you talk about the battle suit. It can be extended to wrap the weapon, although it can't increase the power. It will not make the weapon useless after Ling Xiao blew up the weapon because of too much power. This wave is definitely a bloody profit, which is equivalent to repairing 4 items at one time. Asterisk. With this set of equipment, martial skills and exercises, my current strength is really beyond the watch. By the way, it is 6 o'clock in the morning, and Situ Tian will come to pick me up in 2 hours. It seems that Yan Yanbao can only be cultivated to the proficient level. As for fixing the loopholes, we can only talk about it on the road. Quote. Ling Xiao glanced at the time after the happy ending, feeling a little helpless. After all, they are all third-order top-grade martial arts. With his current talent, it is not an easy thing to learn in a short period of time. Fortunately, Ling Xiao was already prepared. Let's talk about it on the road. As for those, Earth, geniuses. Sorry, for Ling Xiao, these so-called geniuses are not worth mentioning. With his strength, even without using any martial skills, weapons, or even infuriating, he can defeat them all with his bare hands. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao directly closed his eyes and went directly to the martial arts field of his own consciousness, and then recalled Yan Yanbao's cultivation method from his memory and learned it. Although this supernatural skill has no basic moves, but because of this, it is even more difficult to get started. Ling Xiao frowned when he saw Yan Yanbao's learning method, so if he wanted to learn it, it would be even more difficult. No way, no matter how difficult it is, Ling Xiao will continue. Thinking of this, he directly mobilized his Sun Star Flame and began to gather in his palm according to the description of the supernatural skill. Soon, the golden flame was condensed by Ling Xiao. The flames converged into a huge fireball. The fireball instantly expanded to a terrifying 200 or 300 meters in diameter. The huge size in this is the Sun Star Flame, as long as the power of the outbreak should not be underestimated. However, Ling Xiao is still injecting his own Sun Star Flame. Finally, the golden fireball has soared to a diameter of 1,000 meters. If it falls now, it is afraid that it will flatten a small city. After all, the strength of the master level is the level of destroying the city. It's a pity, if Yan Yanbang is so simple, the difficulty will not be 8 stars, but 1 star. And the power can only reach the 1-star level, because this does not give any blessing to Ling Xiao's strength. Of course the real difficulty begins. Receive. Suddenly Ling Xiao drank violently, and his hands suddenly clenched towards the void. In an instant, the huge fireball seemed to be crushed by a terrifying force, and it shrank by several % in an instant, directly compressing from its original diameter of 1,000 meters to 500 meters. At the same time, its quality is directly doubled. This is just the beginning, however, and the compression continues. That infinite power is naturally Ling Xiao's spiritual power. Ling Xiao continued to compress according to the method described in the exercises. And the fireball also continued to shrink from 500 meters, and soon reached 400 meters, 3 meters. At this point the quality has tripled. And when we got here, it started to get difficult. When the fireball reaches 250 meters, the mass has also been quadrupled, and in theory the destructive power of a single unit will also quadruple. However, theory is theory, the fact is that although the mass has reached 4 times, its power is only about twice as strong. After all, 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2 when the total amount remains the same. Fortunately, this level of compression is still far from the limit of martial arts. His limit is to compress to 1/16, which is about 60 meters. In this way, his proficiency is upgraded to the perfect level, and at the same time, his power can be quadrupled, reaching the standard of ordinary 4th-order low-grade martial arts. This is the strength of the martial arts of Juxing power. So Ling Xiao's huge fireball continued to shrink. Suddenly, when the mutation happened. When the huge fireball was compressed to 200 meters, it began to stir. Boom! The next moment, Ling Xiao didn't realize that this fireball exploded instantly, and the terrifying force directly swept Ling Xiao. In an instant, Ling Xiao was instantly burned to ashes by the directly exploded flame. Fortunately, this is just the consciousness space, and the next moment Ling Xiao's consciousness is restored again. Sure enough, it's not that simple. This thing doesn't have enough strength to compress, it also needs to perfectly balance every part of him, otherwise it will easily get out of control. I just didn't expect the power of the out of control to soar to 4 times the power of the perfect quality. It's a good move for this thing to die together. Ling Xiao also laughed when he thought of this. When his undead body reaches the point where he can be resurrected even if it is burnt to ashes, he might be able to use the out-of-control trick to defeat the enemy. After all, if you use it now, you will feel cold. Of course, it was the first time to reach this level, and he felt pretty good. Under normal circumstances, as long as the risk factor is not as big as imagined, it is just that Ling Xiao is not afraid because he is in the conscious martial arts field. So even if it feels like it's going to explode, it continues. The explosion just now gave me a lot of inspiration, keep coming back. Ling Xiao smiled and then closed his eyes again. Comma 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 comma. Comma 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 comma. At 8 o'clock in the morning, the entire Cayenne city was just enveloped by the rising sun. Everyone started a day of cultivation and work. At the gate of the Martial Artist Alliance, Wu Yang, who took the Martial Artist Order, wiped the latter Martial Artist Alliance with high spirits. "Old Wu, I didn't expect your kid to pass the Martial Artist assessment. When did it happen?" However, his actions were immediately seen by the acquaintances around him, and they immediately surrounded him in amazement. "HMPH, I passed the Martial Artist assessment yesterday, and I killed 3 First Order, 1-star beasts. Do you know what it means?" Hearing the surprise of the friends around him, Wu Yang immediately smiled proudly. And as soon as his words came out, all the people around took a deep breath. "It is said that you went to the number 10-star beast star assessment yesterday, and you actually survived." "Yeah, I heard that even Minister Ganwu almost died on the 10th star beast star." "Awesome Wu Yang, I didn't expect your kid to be so strong." Comma 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 comma. Comma 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 comma. In an instant, people around and even some people who had been certified as martial artists came over and looked at Wu Yang in amazement. At this moment, Wu Yang was extremely proud. By the way, it is said that yesterday Earth, was a super genius, or A+ grade. The assessment site is on the 10th star beast star. Have you seen it, Lao Wu? Suddenly, a friend who had certified a martial artist 2 years ago suddenly spoke to Wu Yang. As soon as his words came out, the expressions of the people around him changed drastically. "What? My Earth has another A+ genius. How is that possible? It's actually true, the official website has been announced. Crap, it's actually true. It's a pity that there is only one A+ grade genius, and the certification location is Star Beast star number 10, and the others are gone." Comma 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 comma. Comma 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 comma. The people around were shocked instantly after checking the data published on the official website. Didn't expect it to be true. Ha ha ha, speaking of this A+ grade genius, I have actually seen it. Do you know where this genius is from? However, Wu Yang instantly smiled proudly after hearing the words of the surrounding warriors. "Where are the people? You've really seen someone. Don't brag. Let's talk about where the people are. This thing has not been announced. How do you know that even if you see them, do you still ask them where the geniuses live?" Comma 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 comma. Comma 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 comma. After hearing Wu Yang's words, everyone around was shocked, and then all looked at him curiously. "Humph, you don't know, this legendary A+ genius belongs to us in Cayenne City. Yesterday I went to participate in the martial artist certification examination with him. You say I have not seen him." Hearing the doubts of the people around Wu Yang, he immediately spoke proudly. He is proud of such a genius in his city. However, as soon as his words came out, all the people around looked at each other with dazed expressions. Then they all looked at Wu Yang pitifully. Wu Yang was immediately stunned. "You are not excited about it?" "Yes, another one with post-war fantasy. Yeah, fortunately, there is already a treatment these days, just go to the treatment for 2 days. Old Wu, listen to my brother's advice, wait for a while and go to treatment with me, you can't delay it." Comma 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 comma. Comma 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 comma. However, Wu Yang was dumbfounded when their words came out. Do these people actually think they have post-war fantasies? Are you so fragile mentally? Hey, what I said is true, what are your expressions? That genius is really from our Cayenne City. Otherwise, why would we go to the number 10-star beast star for the assessment? And I am not sick, where did my sickness come from? Quote. Wu Yang was anxious and quickly explained it out loud. Yes, Wu Yang, you are right, let me treat you to a drink. However, Wu Yang's actions made the people around him confirm that there was something wrong with this person's designation. A strong man even directly pulled Wu Yang to walk in one direction. Grass, why are you taking me to the treatment department for drinking? Why don't you believe me, old Wang? When Wu Yang saw the direction of the target clearly, he immediately scolded. By the way, that A+ genius is called Ling Xiao. By the way, I remember that he is a student of your middle school. He still calls me brother. 35. Wu Yang was really in a hurry and started to explain quickly. However, as soon as his words came out, everyone around them shook their heads. This disease is so serious that I can't tell the reality. How could a mere 17 high school produce an A+ talent? If he did, he would have already entered the number 1 high school. It's too outrageous to call him a brother. Poor old Wu, after so many years of certification, he finally got such a disease. Pharaoh, hurry up and send him to the medical department. It will be fine for a few days at most. Because of Wu Yong's words, the people around him were even more convinced that there was something wrong with his brain. Yeah, old Wu, there is a student of mine in our middle school named Ling Xiao, but he was an ordinary student who didn't even have 500 kilograms of strength for the first 2 days. Although he awakened an F-rank ability, he was also in harmony with him. Genius can't be touched. Let's go, you and I will go to the medical department, and you will know if you are sick when you come out. However, the old Wang who was holding Wu Yong said helplessly. That's right, he is the instructor of Ling Xiao Middle School, Instructor Wang. Originally, I still believed that Wu Yong's words were true, but now it's even more outrageous. My student is an A+ level genius. Wouldn't he, a teacher, know? You know, the instructor is the head teacher in this era. You don't even believe me. And there really is only one person named Ling Xiao in your school. And he's just an ordinary student. At this time, Wu Yong was really stunned. Could it be that I really have a delusional disorder? Because after seeing the news announced on the official website in the morning, I made up a memory in my brain. As for the name Ling Xiao, he may just have made up this memory after listening to Pharaoh mention it before. You must know that this is not impossible. People with hallucinations are absolutely indistinguishable between memory and reality. Hey, it's just Ling Xiao, you'd better go see it with me and get a good treatment, it's just a matter of a few days. Seeing that Wu Yong himself began to doubt himself, Instructor Wang sighed and pulled Wu Yong to prepare to check. Hey, Encore, Instructor Wang, so you two know each other. However, at this moment, a voice made the two people who were about to leave instantly stay in place. This familiar voice made the two turn their heads at the same time, and the surrounding warriors watching the play also looked over. However, when they saw the person coming, everyone's pupils shrank violently, and I saw a 15-year-old boy with a warrior badge on his chest, wearing a black battle suit of unknown level, carrying a flame on his back. The long spear came towards Pharaoh and Wu Yong. At this moment, everyone was horrified. Even if their eyesight was low, they could sense that this flaming spear was definitely a powerful weapon above the second rank. Hey, he became a martial artist at such a young age, is he a super genius of number 1 high school? Didn't you hear that this genius was called Instructor Old Wang? Could it be true what old Wu just said? It's a big deal. At this moment, the people who were not stupid immediately guessed something. Brother Ling Xiao, you are a real person, I thought I really had hallucinations. However, Wu Yong was the most excited at this time. He was so moved that he almost cried. It's not easy. A second ago, he began to doubt his life, but now he did not expect Ling Xiao to be a real person. Of course I am true, what are you talking about, Encore? Ling Xiao is also stunned. Why is Wu Yong so excited? How could he know what happened to Wu Yong? Ling Xiao, are you really Ling Xiao? On the other hand, Instructor Wang stared at Ling Xiao with wide eyes in disbelief. I'm going, Instructor Wang, I haven't graduated yet, so you don't know me. Ling Xiao was speechless. Hey, it's really you. Instructor Wang finally came to his senses, and he took a deep breath and a storm surged in his heart. By the way, you are here, and I am going to tell you that I will not participate in this year's martial arts exam. I am going to apply for the Imperial Capital's number 1 advanced martial arts school, and I will be leaving today. Lest you be careful. Suddenly Ling Xiao seemed to remember something, and smiled and spoke to Instructor Wang. As soon as his words came out, all the warriors around took a deep breath. At this moment, most of them believed what Wu Yong had just said. I'm going, what's the matter with you kid? Could it be that the 930A+ genius is really you? Instructor Wang finally became restless and hurriedly asked Ling Xiao. If you're talking about the A+ genius certified yesterday, Instructor Wang, it should be me, but the process is a bit complicated and it's troublesome to say. Ling Xiao is also helpless, how can I explain this? After all, He has been his teacher for several years, so he can't be perfunctory, right? Also find a reasonable reason. However, at this moment, a change occurred, and as a wave of fluctuations descended, the entire earth was suddenly shrouded in a huge shadow. At this moment, everyone couldn't help but raise their heads and look into the sky. However, this look made everyone grow up in shock. I saw a huge spaceship in the sky covering the entire city center. The huge shadow made them all gasp for breath. Magic Sky Ship, it is the Devil Sky Ship of Supervisor Satu Tien. 39. Why did the Magic Sky Ship appear here? Did something big happen? At this moment, everyone looked at the sky in shock. The master-level powerhouse Satu Tien, that is the emperor-like existence of the entire Demon Heaven province. Unexpectedly, the other party actually came in person. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. However, at this moment, the Faikwang in the sky slowly opened a huge hatch, and then a dazzling tractor beam fell directly from the sky. Great, Brother Ling Xiao, you are finally here, and Lord Satushan is here. At the same time, an anxious voice came directly from the direction of the Warrior Alliance, and then Qinwu rushed out anxiously just in time to see Ling Xiao, who was still talking to Instructor Wang and the others. Instructor Wang, what's the matter? I'll talk about it when I get back. I'll go first. Seeing that Ganwu was so anxious, Ling Xiao smiled and said something to Instructor Wang, and then walked directly towards the tractor beam that fell on the ground. The next moment, under an invisible force, Ling Xiao directly soared into the sky and finally flew into the spaceship. Boom. 35. Then, in a huge roar, the magic sky ship that covered the sky directly turned into a streamer and disappeared into the sky of Cayenne City. Only Pharaoh and the others, who were stunned and had not come out of their shock, were left behind. How could his student, who was just an ordinary talent, somehow become the first genius of Earth? This change made him a little hard to accept. After all, he hadn't discovered the talent of the other party for so many years, which made him an instructor who was useless. Look. Student Ling Xiao, we meet again. On this side, just after Ling Xiao entered the cabin of the spaceship, a strong man came to him with a hearty smile. The person in front of him was the one who brought Ling Xiao to see Satushan's innate 5th level powerhouse yesterday, Zhao Wu. And the other party also has an identity as a teacher of the First Academy in the imperial capital. It turned out to be Teacher Zhao. We meet again. Ling Xiao also smiled and greeted the other party. Ha ha ha, you're welcome. Let's go, classmate Ling Xiao, the other students have been waiting for a long time. Zhao Wu looked at the young man in front of him with envy on his face. He naturally knew that Ling Xiao's battle uniform and weapons were all third-tier top quality, and even he couldn't afford these things. That's the benefit of an A+ talent. Well, please, Teacher Zhao, lead the way. Ling Xiao nodded slightly, then walked directly towards the depths of the cabin under the leadership of Zhao Wu. To tell the truth, the size of the magic sky ship is the same as that of a small city. After all, the diameter of several kilometers is already very large. Soon the two of them came to a huge cabin. Ling Xiao, who came here, found that this cabin covers an area of 1 kilometer in diameter, which is 1 million square meters. And the surroundings are made of at least third-order materials, and it can be said that the strength is very terrifying. Even the powerhouses in the late innate stage can easily resist in battle here. In this cabin, there are already more than 20 geniuses in their 20s. When these people saw Ling Xiao coming, they all looked over. Is this kid the new A+ genius? It's him. I didn't expect it to come from a small third-rate city. It seems that it's just bad luck. After awakening the power, the energy accumulated is a bit too much. I can't say that. Even so, his talent is real. If the talent is not enough, it is impossible to accumulate so much energy. Maybe in 2 years, the representative of Earth, will be him alone. It also depends on his actual combat ability and martial arts comprehension ability. If you want to become a representative, it is not just about practicing fast. In an instant, the more than 20 geniuses around were all discussing, and almost all of them were 5th graders from the First Academy of the imperial capital. Therefore, he didn't care about Ling Xiao, a so-called genius who was 5 years younger and had not undergone systematic training. At least, this year, or they're home. Everyone, the spacecraft still has 3 minutes to accelerate into the dark universe, and the selection of representatives will begin at that time. The selection criteria are the same as before, and strength is respected. 35. At this moment, Zhao Wu looked at these geniuses and spoke seriously. It's just a selection, naturally Satushan doesn't need to come forward. Others didn't care after hearing it, but Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. Dark universe. It is said that after accelerating the speed of the spacecraft to a certain speed, the dark universe can be opened through the interdimensional engine. In the dark universe, the speed of the spacecraft can be instantly increased by 100 million times, and it is not blocked by stars and meteorites along the way. But also, if there is no such technology, how can the distance of the big cosmic era be several light years or even hundreds of thousands of light years to arrive so quickly? This kind of technology can only be carried by spaceships above Tier 4, it seems to take a good look. Ling Xiao curiously looked at the see-through wall not far from the cabin. This wall looks transparent and can see the outside world. With the rapid increase in the speed of the spaceship, Ling Xiao could clearly find that the surrounding stars had begun to appear phantoms. Team. Suddenly, an electronic sound came. All the geniuses around held their breaths and looked at the outside world. To be honest, if it wasn't for Ling Xiao's reason for delaying the assessment for a few days this time, except for the representatives, they would not be eligible to fly on a spaceship above Tier 4. Suddenly, as a whole wave came, the surrounding stars disappeared in an instant, and the outside picture directly turned into darkness. It's very smooth without the slightest bump, and the people around don't have any feeling. This is the end. Ling Xiao was a little helpless. At that moment, the spaceship seemed to plunge into a dark space, but this Ling Xiao knew that it was the function of the so-called interdimensional engine. As for the bumps, just kidding, with the speed increased by 100 million times, just a slight deviation can instantly destroy people. Therefore, opening the dark universe must not have any aftermath of the battle. Otherwise it's looking for death. Dip. Successfully entered the dark universe. Please note that the distance to the destination is 7,000 light years, and the estimated flight time is 25 hours. Any messages in the dark universe cannot be sent. At the same time, a beep sounded. Okay everyone, now the selection of representatives starts. We have 25 hours, and everything will be done on a one-to-one basis. But since you have a total of 21 people, there will be one bye in the first round. At this moment, Zhao Wu also looked at the geniuses present and said with a smile. After speaking, he waved his right hand slightly. In an instant, a card projection appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The person who has the same number is chosen as the opponent, and then in the order from 1 to 10, the one who draws the red number card is a bye and goes directly to the next round. Everyone, let's start. Zhao Wu opened his mouth with a smile. As soon as his words came out, all the other geniuses clicked directly towards the number plate without hesitation. Ling Xiao also clicked the number plate. In an instant, the number card was flipped over, and when he came over, a bright red card appeared in front of Ling Xiao's eyes. This scene made him stunned. I'm going, bye. Are these people so lucky? Ling Xiao smiled helplessly after seeing this scene. Yes, it's not his luck, but other people, after all these geniuses, whoever encounters him is doomed to fail. The red number plate is actually that kid, so lucky. I thought he would be eliminated in the first round, but I didn't expect to make it to the second round, luckily. Luck is also a part of strength, let's fight. After seeing Ling Xiao's bye, all the geniuses around were helpless. However, no one is envious. After all, they know that the bye is only a temporary thing, and whether they can win in the end depends on their actual strength. This Ling Xiao is so lucky. Zhao Wu also sighed with emotion, but he didn't care and pressed the void directly. Crack. 99. At this moment, a huge square ring suddenly rose in the center of the entire cabin. Almost the entire square is occupied by 90%. This round Ling Xiao has a bye, and now the first number card is drawn to start the fight, and the others retreat to the edge of the ring. 99. It was time for Zhao Wu to speak. As soon as his words came out, except for the two geniuses who had drawn the number 1 number, the rest of the people walked off the ring, and Ling Xiao naturally did the same. Hey, I didn't expect a female classmate in the first round. And this female classmate doesn't seem to be very old. Under the ring, Ling Xiao was stunned when he saw the two players above the ring. I saw a 17 or 18-year-old girl wearing a white martial arts uniform and holding a long sword exuding cold air. The long black hair fluttered slightly in the void, and the icy aura on her body could clearly guess that the girl was an icy power user. The beautiful face also made Ling Xiao feel that this era is rich in beautiful women. Huh, interesting, this little girl is not easy. Suddenly Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and he sensed a little surprise at the power contained in this girl's body. Then he directly turned on his battle instrument. In an instant, the girl's data appeared in his eyes. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to compete with a girl for a spot in the finals. Looking at the data, Ling Xiao felt helpless. It's actually Li Yuanlin and Sikong Shui. It is said that junior sister Sikong Shui is only in the 3rd grade, and already the 7th day of the day after tomorrow. If you give her another 2 years to condense the innocence of the first BBDG, she will definitely be the first powerhouse of my first martial arts school, but unfortunately she is the first in one round. I met Li Yuanlin, the 3rd genius ranking 95. However, it was naturally the other geniuses around who were more shocked than Ling Xiao. One is Sikong Shui, the strongest genius before Ling Xiao came, and the other is the 3rd-ranked powerhouse. This first match is the same as the final. Dream. The next moment, a virtual barrier appeared directly on the edge of the arena, shrouding the entire arena in an instant. This is the 4th order shield, even I can't break it, you may attack at will, and there will be no problem. Zhao Wu under the ring also spoke directly. Since we are opponents, then I will offend the junior girl. Don't worry, the senior will keep it. When Li Yuanlin saw that his first opponent was Sikong Shui, he immediately smiled and cupped his hands. Boom. However, just as his voice fell, a terrifyingly cold air rushed towards Li Yuanlin crazily like a flood. The terrifying cold air made Li Yuanlin's complexion change in an instant. Shantian Zhongtian, how is this possible? Li Yuanlin was shocked and quickly pulled out his long knife and burst out his whole body's true qi, trying to resist the cold qi of the other party. Crack. However, in the next moment, the power of ice had swept away and instantly completely froze his whole being. The sudden scene made everyone present widen their eyes. Even Zhao Wu and even Situ Tian, who was watching this scene in the control room behind the scenes, stood up in shock. Shantian Yizhongtian, the 17-year-old Shantian Yizhongtian, and also the comprehension of the B-level supernatural power of ice. This is a proper A+ level genius. How is this possible? How can the strength of this girl Sikongshe improve so fast? At this moment, Situ Tian's whole body was shaking with excitement. The second A+ level genius, and one who has already grown up, this kind of talent is definitely out of reach. Ling Xiao doesn't know how many streets. If the realm is stronger, he can even be rated as an S-level genius. After all, Sikong Shui not only has strength, but also has B-level abilities. A congenital first-level talent with a B-level talent will at most be a congenital first-level talent against a group, and the talent is only a C-level talent. It seems that it should be a crushing victory. Among all the people, only Ling Xiao smiled. Among all the people present, there are 18 people from the 7th heaven to the 9 heavens of the day after tomorrow. The remaining 3 are Ling Xiao, Sikong Shui, and the last one is a young man in his 20s who has wide-eyed and horrified. And his strength is also innate, but his abilities are not that powerful, only C rank. After all, abilities and cultivation speed cannot be both, and all those who have both are super geniuses. And now, Sikong Shui is one of them. But this girl is not as simple as she looks on the surface, but these so-called geniuses shouldn't be able to attract her talent. Then Ling Xiao's eyes flashed slightly, and he felt a different kind of breath from Sikongshe. Although I don't know what it is, if it explodes, the power is definitely not low. Then he ignored it, closed his eyes and continued to go to the martial arts field of his own consciousness and began to practice Yan Yanbang. Teacher, did I win? If you don't announce it again, his breath of life will be gone. However, when everyone was shocked, Sikong Shui spoke indifferently. Win, the first Sikong Shui victory. Hearing Sikong Shui's prompt, Zhao Wu hurriedly shouted. Sure enough, As his voice fell, the ice that enveloped Li Yuanlin instantly dissipated. The unconscious Li Yuanlin also fell directly to the ground. But soon he was sent to the medical cabin by the robot. As for Sikong Shui, he slowly stepped off the spaceship. Next, the second game. Zhao Wu took a deep breath, and then spoke solemnly to the rest of the people. Time quickly passed with the assessment of each field. At this time, Ling Xiao had been cultivating in the Sea of Consciousness for more than 3 hours. The second round starts. At this moment, Zhao Wu's voice pulled Ling Xiao, who was still cultivating, back from the brink of cultivation. The more Ling Xiao opened his eyes, the more he realized that the first round of the assessment had ended, and there were only 11 people left after the 10 rounds plus him. The next moment, a number card appeared in front of everyone's eyes again. Because the number of people is still single, it is still the same as before, there is one by. At this moment, Zhao Wu spoke again. This time, he was a little excited, because the appearance of the genius Sikongshe made him feel that this time they might have the opportunity to send a genius to Yanyang Academy. Of course, this hope is 2 years later, not now. After all, the B-level talent and the strength of the innate first layer can be ranked in the middle of all planets, but it is still a lot worse to enter the top 100. I don't know who my opponent will be, it won't be another Bai. Of course, Ling Xiao at this time didn't have time to pay attention to other things. What he wanted was to end the battle quickly and go back to practice. So he just clicked the number plate. However, when Ling Xiao's number plate was turned over, he was stunned, it was red again. This kid is Bai again. 35. This scene was instantly watched by a genius not far away. How come you are so lucky? Yeah, 2 Bais in a row, why does it feel like there is a shady scene? What's going on? 35 feet. At this moment, everyone around is frying. 2 Bais in a row is a bit outrageous. Quiet, the Bai is a matter of luck, there is absolutely no backstage, and besides, it is impossible to determine whether a Bai can become a representative depends on strength. Even if the Bai continues, it will ultimately depend on strength. 35. At this moment, Zhao Wu also spoke. As soon as his words came out, the geniuses around didn't say anything anymore. This was just a selection of representatives, and there was no reward. Second place and first elimination are losers. Yes, then I have time to practice again. Ling Xiao also laughed, it's better not to fight anyway, just walk through the motions. Immediately, he closed his eyes again and continued his practice. The other 5 pairs of geniuses also began to fight. The battle this time was obviously much stronger than the previous one, so the time spent in each battle also increased a lot. After 5 battles, it actually took 5 hours. However, when the last game was about to end, something big happened on Ling Xiao's side. In the sky above the martial arts field, Ling Xiao's hand was slowly compressing a huge ball of flame with a diameter of 70 meters. The fireball now has nearly quadrupled the blessing. As long as he breaks through this last trace, Ling Xiao will be able to successfully cultivate his martial arts to the perfect level. Suddenly, Ling Xiao's eyes lit up. The flame light ball suddenly fluctuated. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. In the next instant, the huge fireball was compressed several meters again. In an instant, the fireball that was still slowly shrinking had reached its limit and could no longer shrink. To be precise, if Ling Xiao still followed the skills of this martial art, he could no longer be compressed. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have successfully cultivated Yan Yanbang to a perfect state, and the power blessing has been increased to 4 times. At the same time, a prompt sound also came to Ling Xiao's mind. The corner of Ling Xiao's mouth rose slightly when he heard the prompt. I finally learned it, I have been practicing for 10 hours before and after. After calculating the time, the difficulty of this martial art is much greater than that of marksmanship. System, fix the loopholes in martial arts for me. Ling Xiao spoke directly to the system without hesitation. Ding! Accept the order and discover your martial skills. Yan Yanbao has a loophole, 900,000, and will be repaired soon. 99. In an instant, the system responded. And the loopholes are as high as 900,000, which is much stronger than the previous marksmanship, but they are also belong to the 6th order martial arts, but one is the best, the other is the inferior. Boom! The next moment, a brand new content of the exercises flooded into Ling Xiao's mind, and Ling Xiao began to quickly analyze the contents of these memories. Fortunately, the system's memory transmission took a long time to control for Ling Xiao, but the outside world only passed for a moment. After an instant, Ling Xiao completely mastered the new martial arts, and his proficiency soared to a perfect realm. Feeling this powerful martial art, Ling Xiao was also pleasantly surprised. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your martial skill Yan Yanbang has successfully repaired all the loopholes and evolved into Jutian Yan Yanbang, 6th Order Best. Jutian Yanyan Explosion, the 6th Order Superb Martial Arts. The first stage, it can instantly compress the attack condensed by the fire power by 100 times, thereby obtaining 10 times the power blessing. The second stage, in an instant, compress the 9 Yanyan explosions and directly combine them into the 9-day Yanyan explosions, bursting with 15 times the power. This stage needs to consume extremely terrifying energy. Soon, the attributes of the new martial arts also appeared directly in Ling Xiao's mind. He was very satisfied with the introduction. It has 10 times the power in normal state, and it can even reach 15 times the blessing when it erupts. This is far beyond his marksmanship. Try it first. 35. Ling Xiao did not hesitate, and directly rose into the sky in the consciousness martial arts field. Boom rumble. In an instant, violent and extreme power erupted directly from his body, and golden flames directly enveloped Ling Xiao's whole body. The next moment Ling Xiao raised his hands directly towards the sky. Buzz buzz. In an instant, huge fireballs condensed rapidly in the sky. Soon 9 terrifying fireballs with a diameter of 1 kilometer appeared in the sky. Collection. 99. The next moment, with Ling Xiao's low voice, these fireballs shrank violently, turning into 10 fireballs with a diameter of 10 meters in just an instant. 9 days of flames exploded. Then, in Ling Xiao's low voice, the 9 fireballs that had condensed 100-fold instantly turned into 9 streams of light and crashed on the ground. Boom rumble. In an instant, endless flames soared into the sky, and the flames that destroyed everything spread directly in all directions, and everything was enveloped by this golden flame. Everything within a radius of more than 20 kilometers was swallowed up by the hot breath at this moment. Ling Xiao, who was watching this scene, also blinked. In just a few days, I did not expect that my strength has reached such a level. If this move falls on Cayenne City, it will definitely wipe out Cayenne City in an instant. More than 20 kilometers is only the area covered by flames, and more than 20 kilometers away, there is still a large area that was directly melted by the heat wave. The terrifying damage range is really more than enough to destroy a Cayenne City. Is this the martial artist of this world? Now I can be regarded as entering the room. Is this the martial artist of this world? Now I can be regarded as entering the room. 99. Ling Xiao also laughed when he thought of this, but he knew that his ultimate achievement was far more than that. The Sea of Stars is his goal. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao directly opened his own attribute table. Property sheet. Name: Ling Xiao. Repair times: 1/4. Martial Tao Realm: Innate Fourfold Heaven. Soul Realm: Innate 9 Heavens. Qi and Blood: 4154. 1 point equals 300 kg strength. Soul: 9435. Skills: Marksmanship skills proficient late, 300%, 2005 thousandths. Talent: Undead Body SSS level, Combat Power 300%, Innate Tao Body SS level, Blessing 3000 times Titanium Battle Body C level, 300% Speed, 500% Defense Sunstar Flame S level. Cultivation Technique: Titanium Battle 4th Order Low Grade, 300% Training Speed Soul Immortal Judgment Eternal Life, 5th Order Shattering 32 times. Martial Arts: Titanium Fist Lower Grade 4, 400% Meteor Spear Technique Middle Grade 6, 1000%. Beast Pet: Hell 3-Headed Dragon 4th Order 4 star. Ling Xiao glanced at her attributes and the corners of her mouth rose slightly. Now his realm has been elevated to the terrifying innate eightfold heaven. You must know that within 10 hours, he did not just cultivate Yan Yanbao. In the sea of consciousness, his soul has been torn apart. Even now, the soul is still not complete, that is to say, in theory, his strength has been rising. And if the strength of Shantian Zhouzhongtian is known, it will definitely be horrified. The 15-year-old Shantian Zhouzhongtian's strength is terrifying to the extreme. Of course, not only Ling Xiao grew up, but also Xiao He in his battle suit pocket. At this time, Xiao He has grown into a 4th order 4-star. Before I forgot that what I got was 70,000 points of mental power reserve instead of 7,000 points. According to the calculation, it should be enough to upgrade my soul realm to the 2nd and 3rd levels of the master realm. There is no need to upgrade the star core in a short time. That's one more chance to fix it. Ling Xiao thought about it. How will this last chance to fix it be used? Ling Xiao, the number is ready. However, at this moment, Zhao Wu's voice suddenly pulled Ling Xiao back from the edge of contemplation. When Ling Xiao opened his eyes, he realized that everyone around him was waiting for him to wake up. This kid is real, I want to see how strong he is, but he has been sleeping here all the time. Yeah, it's too arrogant, even if the talent is good, we still have to learn from the experience of the seniors. 35. That's right, this kind of arrogant mentality, I'm afraid it won't go very far in the future. The geniuses around were originally unhappy because they were eliminated, but now, when they saw that Ling Xiao was actually sleeping, they suddenly became angry. Cough cough, it caused public anger, I didn't want to take a bye, and who said I was sleeping? Ling Xiao is also speechless, do these people think that they are weak enough to be bullied? Okay, continue to draw numbers this round. Zhao Wu, who saw Ling Xiao woke up, didn't say anything but spoke directly. In an instant, a card appeared in front of Ling Xiao's eyes again, and he immediately opened it. They shouldn't dare to say anything after this battle. At this time, he was also a little helpless, after all, there were 6 people in this round and there would be no bye. However, when Ling Xiao's number card was turned over, the bright red face made him immediately bewildered. A bye. What's more, a bye. This kid is a bye again, isn't he, a bye? If Lu Zili and his opponent hadn't perished and were severely injured, this kid wouldn't have had a bye. Forget it, let's get a bye, anyway, it's impossible to have a bye in the final. At this moment, the remaining dozen or so people around were completely speechless. And from their words, Ling Xiao also knew why the bye. It turned out that there were 2 people of equal strength and they almost killed each other in the end. Now both of them are lying in the medical cabin. If they have ordinary injuries, it is reasonable to wait for a few hours. However, their injuries are so serious that they cannot heal in a day. So both were eliminated. The 6 people suddenly became 5 people, and there was another bye. Okay. Then there are 3 people left to fight in the next round, so there won't be another bye. Ling Xiao was speechless at this time. Just when he was thinking about this, on the ring, Sikong Shui had already met the strongest person in the first martial arts school, Zhou Yuan. Zhou Yuan was a young man wearing a black battle uniform with a long sword on his back. Shui Mei, I didn't expect your strength to improve so quickly. Last year, you met me when you came to the certification examination. At that time, you were only in the realm of the 4th level heaven after the day after tomorrow. Zhou Yuan looked at Sikong Shui in front of him and was extremely shocked. When he fought with Sikong Shui last year, he knew clearly that the other party absolutely did his best. However, in just 1 year this year, she actually jumped from the acquired 4th heaven to the congenital 1st heaven. If this kind of talent did not hide her strength last year, her talent would definitely be a proper S-rank genius. Such geniuses don't even need to occupy a place on a planet, they can directly apply for the exam. However, facing Zhou Yuan's words, Sikong Shui still did not say a word, and swept the ice-long sword in his hand indifferently. The meaning is obvious, let Zhou Yuan talk less nonsense and fight directly. Although the strength may not be your opponent, but on the sword, you are not my opponent. However, Zhou Yuan didn't talk nonsense after seeing Sikong Shui's actions, and a dazzling light flashed in his eyes. Chong! In an instant, he pulled out his long sword instantly. It was a 3rd-tier high-grade long sword, without any elemental blessing, but in Zhou Yuan's hand it exuded a sharp sword energy. What? It's actually a swordsmanship skill at the entry-level peak level. This Zhou Yuan has actually reached this level. However, after seeing this scene, Zhao Wu couldn't help exclaiming. Introductory peak swordsmanship skills, this level even many kendo masters have not reached this level at this age. And Zhou Yuan actually reached it. Moreover, the skills of the entry-level peak are not low in the Blessing of Strength. With this swordsmanship skill, he really has the strength to fight Sikong Shui. Offended. 9. The next moment, Zhou Yuan let out a low voice, and his feet instantly turned into a stream of light that shot towards Sikong Shui. The speed was so fast that he came to Sikong Shui in just an instant. Returning to Yuan's swordsmanship. In an instant, Zhou Yuan shouted loudly, and the long sword in his hand instantly turned into countless sword beams and slashed towards Sikong Shui fiercely. This scene made Zhao Wu's heart skip a beat and resist the urge to go up and save people. Chong. However, the next moment Sikong Shui moved. Ice Soul Sword Art. With an ethereal voice bursting out of Sikong Shui's mouth, the ice-long sword in her hand instantly collided with the sword chi. Boom boom boom. At this moment, countless deafening explosions erupted from the center where the two collided. The sword chi fragments from both sides also fell in all directions, and finally hit the ground. These powerful sword chi directly caused the ground of the entire arena to shatter layer by layer. After all, it was only made of Tier 3 materials, but fortunately, after breaking a few meters, it hit the range of the protective cover, so it was not damaged again. And this scene surprised Zhao Wu. The combat power of the two Shantian realm first layer can actually smash the third order materials that only the Shantian third or fourth heaven can crush. This strength is really not weak. But at the same time with emotion, he also clearly found that even though Zhao Wu used powerful swordsmanship skills, he still fell behind under Sikong Shui's strength. The two sides seemed to be evenly matched, but Sikong Shui always stood still and did not move. I'm still going to lose. In the end, after persisting for a full hour, the battle was finally over. Drink. Suddenly, Sikong Shui let out a low voice, and the sword energy that burst out of his hand instantly became stronger by several %. This sudden terrifying sword chi instantly slashed on Zhou Yuan's chest. Puff. In an instant, with a mouthful of blood spurting out, Zhou Yuan flew upside down. Boom boom. In the end, he slammed into the protective cover with a loud bang and lost consciousness. I still lose. If there is no battle suit, Zhou Yuan is already dead. Zhao Wu shook his head helplessly after seeing this scene. This kid is such a hard-working genius, but unfortunately, compared to talent, it is still far behind. This was also Zhou Yuan's last chance. If he failed this time, he would have no chance to enter Yanyang Academy in the future. Of course, even if he didn't lose, it would be an extravagant hope to enter the Yanyang Academy. Sikong Shui wins, move on to the next game. Zhao Wu also spoke directly, and soon Zhou Yuan was also sent to the medical cabin by the medical robot for repair. In the next game, a young man with muscles all over his body won. This one has a terrifying defensive power, and the other's attack hit him with almost no injuries. If it didn't match Zhou Yuan and Sikong Shui, it would definitely be the strongest. And after this game ended, only the last 3 people remained. Are the last 3 of you going to draw 1 person for a bye, or 3 people to fight, or, who of you is going to abstain? 99. Looking at the last 3 people, Zhao Wu also spoke directly. The so-called abstention was naturally spoken to Ling Xiao. After all, in his eyes, Ling Xiao is only the 3rd level of the acquired heaven, and is not at the same level as another person from the 9th level of the acquired heaven and the 1st level of the innate. Ha ha ha. I can do it, anyway, it won't be me who won in the end. However, Raleigh on the side laughed directly. After seeing Sikong Shui's battle, how could he have confidence? All right. 35. And Sikong Shui also spoke coldly. It is still a cold look, no one is a bird. I think it's still a melee. However, at this moment, Ling Xiao opened his mouth with a smile. As soon as his words came out, everyone around was stunned. They also thought that Ling Xiao would either choose to bet on a buy or abstain. I didn't expect that it would be a 3-man melee. Okay, if that's the case, let's come together. After hearing Ling Xiao's words, although Zhao Wu was stunned, he nodded. That way it won't be so troublesome. After he finished speaking, he walked straight off the ring, leaving the last 3 people behind. You two together. 35. However, at this moment, Sikong Shui spoke coldly. Her words were calm, as if stating a fact. Come on, this girl is kind of a tsundere. Ling Xiao was immediately speechless. Ha ha ha, then I'll go first. 35. However, Raleigh made a loud noise and rushed towards Sikong Shui with his gloves on. Humph. Suddenly, a cold hum burst out from Sikong Shui's mouth, and in an instant, the endless cold air frantically rolled towards the entire arena. Blood and body protection. Seeing this, Raleigh shouted violently, and in an instant, the power of scarlet chi and blood burst out from his body. Boom. The next moment, the terrifying cold air hit him directly. However, what shocked everyone was that Raleigh's blood shield actually started to freeze at an extremely fast speed. In less than a few seconds, Raleigh's shield and himself were completely turned into ice sculptures. Not only that, the entire arena and Ling Xiao not far away were also directly frozen. We won. As expected, Sikong Shui won. The strength of Raleigh can last for 5 seconds is much stronger than the previous opponents. Ha ha ha, poor little brother, it was frozen into ice cubes as soon as the ice shrouded in it. Don't ask too much, it's normal for people to have weak strengths before they enter school. This scene instantly made everyone present feel the power of Sikong Shui, and at the same time observed 2 seconds of silence for Ling Xiao. If that's the case, then the winner this time is. Seeing this scene, Zhao Wu prepared to hurry up and read about Sikong Shui's victory, otherwise Ling Xiao would be in trouble if he froze to death. Boom. 9. However, at this moment, a loud noise erupted directly from the ring. I saw that Ling Xiao, who was frozen in ice, broke out of the ice in an instant. There was no injury to the whole body. This sudden scene made everyone completely dumbfounded. With their eyes wide open, they couldn't believe what was happening in front of them. The terrifying ice that Raleigh couldn't hold for a few seconds broke apart in an instant in front of Ling Xiao. What the hell is going on? At this moment, Sikong Shui, who was originally calm, looked at Ling Xiao in surprise. How could this young man break her ice? This breath, Shantian first layer. This is impossible, how is this possible? 15-year-old Shantian first layer, S-level genius. However, Situ Tien in the control room also widened his eyes. Every S-level genius is a super genius who can make the planet boil. And now they, Earth, actually have such a genius. The next moment, he rushed out of the control room and rushed towards the cabin where Ling Xiao and the others were. It's really cold, the little girl's family is cold every day, be careful that you won't be able to marry in the future. After Ling Xiao got out of trouble, he looked at the ice around him and said with a smile. The next moment, a hot breath bloomed directly from his body. The terrifying flame power instantly enveloped the entire arena. Chi. The ice on the ground was instantly evaporated, and the originally icy thunder began to melt directly under the terrifying high temperature. Fire pull. However, the unfortunate Raleigh had just been rescued from the ice cave when he was scorched all over the floor by the hot breath. If it weren't for the cooling effect of his martial arts uniform, he would have been roasted now. Come out. 99. Seeing this scene, Zhao Wu quickly opened a gap in the barrier. The extremely hot breath in an instant caused everyone present to retreat from the heat. Seeing this scene, Raleigh rushed out. And which gap is closed in an instant. Ling Xiao actually comprehended the power of flame. This is not in the data, what is going on? And the realm he shows now has reached the innate level. 35. Zhao Wu looked at Ling Xiao in shock after watching Raleigh come out. He couldn't believe what the talent level of Ling Xiao, a 15-year-old innate level powerhouse, plus the fact that he understood the power of flame. It's definitely an S-class. And this kind of genius, even if it is placed in the entire Yanyang galaxy, there are not many. Your strength is very strong. However, at this moment, Sikong Shui, who was opposite Ling Xiao, spoke solemnly. In such a hot situation, even she was left with a trace of sweat on her forehead. And the temperature keeps rising. It's all right. You're not bad. You have raised your swordsmanship to a proficient level at a young age. Ling Xiao laughed, however, as soon as his words came out, Sikong Shuijiao's whole shrank violently in an instant. How did you know? Sikong Shui said in a cold voice that she had never used this trump card, so it was impossible for anyone to know, but now Ling Xiao actually knew. This made her wary. What? Sword mastery at the proficiency level. How is this possible? Mastering the level of swordsmanship, that's the level that can only be achieved by a kendo master. 99. Hey, it turns out that Sikong Shui left his hand when he fought before. The conversation between the two directly shocked Zhao Wu and others. Sikong Shui actually realized that she has mastered swordsmanship at the proficiency level, which means that she didn't even use 50% of her strength in the previous battle. Her swordsmanship surpasses mine. When Zhou Yuan heard this, the whole person was lost. He originally thought that his swordsmanship was at least comparable to the opponent's. Unfortunately, he found out that the opponent's swordsmanship did not look strong because he was not qualified to let the opponent use a real sword. Law. Thinking of this, he smiled helplessly. Naturally, it can be seen that it is impossible to easily defeat a genius who is proficient in swordsmanship at the peak of entry level, and it is naturally impossible to rely solely on his own strength. Well, don't waste other people's time, let's do it. 99. Ling Xiao smiled slightly. He was proficient in late-stage marksmanship. If he wanted to see the strength of Sikong Shui's swordsmanship, it was naturally easy. After all, these skills are actually the same. Now give Ling Xiao a long sword. Although he can't use it to master the swordsmanship skills in the later stage, it is definitely easy to master the early stage. Okay. If that's the case, then I'm welcome. However, after hearing Ling Xiao's words, Sikong Shui snorted instantly. Ice Soul Sword Art. In an instant, she turned into a white shadow and rushed towards Ling Xiao. Looking at her movements, Ling Xiao squeezed his right hand into the void. In an instant, the surrounding fire elements gathered together like a flood, turning into a big hand and directly grasping Sikong Shui in the void. The terrifying power directly caused Sikong Shui to even move. The power of extreme cold, give me an explosion. Feeling this terrifying power, Sikong Shui quickly urged the hidden power in her body. However, without any effect, in Ling Xiao's flame field, her extreme cold power could not be mobilized. How can that be? Sikong Shui felt this terrifying power, and her whole body was stunned. Her extreme cold power was a powerful S-level talent. But now it's of no use at all. How can that be? And Ling Xiao didn't defeat her head-on, she just used the flame to imprison her. At this moment, she completely doubted her life. It is not difficult to imprison others with the power of flame, but the difficulty lies in the fact that the fire element is not a power of mind. To use this kind of imprisonment requires a person whose strength far exceeds that of the person being imprisoned. She looked at the person in front of her in disbelief. Why did such a young man possess such terrifying strength? However, didn't her master say that with her strength, even if she went to Yanyang Star, she could be regarded as the top genius? You must know that the power of extreme cold that she hides is not a B-level talent like the power of ice, but a terrifying S-level ability. I didn't expect that such a genius would appear in such a remote galaxy. Xiao Shui, admit defeat, you are not his opponent, his spirit realm has been elevated to the innate 9 heavens. Moreover, the flame he uses is not the power of C-level flame, but the sun-star flame of S-level, which itself is the nemesis of your extreme cold power. Funny little guy, this talent is definitely the top talent in the galaxy. It's a pity that my soul is damaged, and I can't see it a lot. I can only see this, but even so, if you can't provoke him, don't provoke him. Quote. However, at this moment, a female voice sounded in Sikong Shui's mind. As soon as this voice came out, Sikong Shui was instantly stunned. The S-rank sun-star flame. And the divine soul realm of Shantian Zhouzhangtian. What kind of genius is this? The legendary SS class. That is a realm that only a few strong people such as Wushan can achieve. I surrender. Finally, the unwilling Sikong Shui, even though she didn't want the number of people, she still bowed her head, because she knew that she was definitely not Ling Xiao's opponent. Her master and other superpowers say that if they lose, there is no chance of winning. After all, according to her master's statement in her experience of being promoted from the 7th heaven of the acquired to the 1st heaven of the innate in the past month or so, her master is definitely a super powerhouse that is far stronger than the martial god. However, the moment Sikong Shui conceded defeat, the flame that enveloped her was completely extinguished. Sikong Shui also slowly fell from the sky to the ground. Those geniuses from the outside world and Zhao Wu watched this scene with wide-eyed eyes, and looked at the 15 or 16-year-old boy on the ring in disbelief. Ling Xiao is victorious. I announce that Ling Xiao is victorious, and he will go to Yanyang Star for the assessment as our Earth representative. The rest of the students will return to Earth on the sidecar. 35. However, at this moment, Zhao Wu finally reacted. Excited, he hurriedly opened his mouth. As soon as his words came out, he finally pulled everyone around him from their shock. Hey! A 15-year-old innate level powerhouse, still so powerful, an S-level genius, he is actually an S-level genius. How is this possible? He is actually an S-class genius. It's terrifying. I imprisoned Sikong Shui with the power of flames. It's ridiculous that we just thought he was lucky and had a few buys. Now it seems that we are lucky. At this moment, all the geniuses around were talking in disbelief. 0. Although they lost this time, they knew that it was because the opponent was too evil. Whether it was Sikong Shui or Ling Xiao, they were not on the same level as them. Master, do I need to expose the power of extreme cold to achieve the S-level genius certification, so that I can participate in the examination of Yanyang Star? However, at this time, Sikong Shui hurriedly spoke to his master in his mind. Let's wait and see. The strength shown by the one named Ling Xiao has already reached S rank. If he gives you the quota, you don't need to expose it. The mysterious voice also spoke slowly at this time. It's best to be low-key. She didn't want her disciples to be as dazzling as herself to be missed by others. Finished. However, at this moment, an old voice spread directly throughout the arena. Everyone looked at the prestige, and immediately saw an old man flying from the sky. I have seen the Inspector Sama. 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 After seeing the visitor, everyone around them hurriedly saluted the inspector. No more politeness needed. After hearing their words, the inspector also smiled, then fell to the ground and looked at Ling Xiao and Sikong Shui aside. Ling Xiao, I have uploaded the battle picture you just now to the central head of the Martial Arts Alliance. After being evaluated by the main brain, your genius certification level has been upgraded to S rank, and you can directly participate in the assessment of Yanyang Academy without occupying a quota. Of course, you can choose who to give the extra quota to. After all, you get it. Looking at Ling Xiao in front of him, the inspector said with a smile. One of him and Sikong Shui was an A+ level genius, and the other was a terrifying S-level genius. Given time, they would definitely be proper Grandmaster level powerhouses, and might even become great Grandmaster level powerhouses. At that time, his Earth status will rise slowly. As a genius discoverer, he will also receive a lot of rewards personally, so at this moment he is naturally only happy. Then give it to Sikong Shui. I believe she will not miss this opportunity. Ling Xiao smiled slightly after hearing this, and glanced at Sikong Shui meaningfully. As soon as his words came out, Sikong Shui, who was beside him, was stunned for a moment. Being able to become a representative without exposing one's extreme cold power is already a very good thing. Sure enough, has he sensed my extreme cold power? Fortunately, he didn't say it. Because Ling Xiao gave her a place, Sikong Shui was a little more grateful to Ling Xiao. After all, it was the first time she met him and her attitude was not good, and the other party didn't care about the past, which made her feel a little embarrassed. It's a pity that she didn't know that Ling Xiao didn't just see through her extreme cold power. An inexplicable powerful soul. This strength has never been seen before. Although it is very weak, its quality is extremely terrifying. It was definitely a superpower before his death. I didn't expect this Sikong Shui to bring his own grandfather, but fortunately, I have the indestructible technique, which is an immortal level technique, which can isolate the other party's exploration. Otherwise, this strength will show me at a glance. At this time, Ling Xiao was also lost in thought. Just when Sikong Shui's master was investigating himself, he sensed the other party, so he quickly used the Divine Soul Immortality art to hide some of his own aura, leaving only some appearances that were not easy to detect. However, with such a strong man around, Ling Xiao was indeed careful. Ha 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 ha, good. Since that's the case, then I will report it. By the way, I checked the time, and I will arrive at Yanyang Star in 15 hours. At that time, the assessment will begin after a day's rest. You two should go to rest first and adjust your state, and strive to enter the Yanyang Academy directly. After hearing Ling Xiao's words, Situ Tian immediately smiled happily. Giving the quota to Sikangshe also meant that the possibility of successfully entering Yanyang Academy was much higher. As for the others, if he was given this opportunity, it would be difficult to grasp it. Zhao Wu, make arrangements and send the other students back to practice. 35. After saying this, Situ Tian opened his mouth to Zhao Wu who was beside him. Afterwards, Situ Tian left quickly, and he hadn't told the speaker about it. If you let the speaker know, you will definitely be very happy. And Ling Xiao and Sikangshe also came to their living room under the guidance of the spaceship's brain. Ling Xiao, thank you for the quota. After hesitating for a while, Sikangshe still spoke to Ling Xiao with a serious face. No need to thank you, even if I didn't give you a place, you can get it on your own, right? Besides, maybe we can take care of each other after we arrive at Yanyang Star. Ling Xiao laughed after hearing Sikangshui's words. As soon as his words came out, Sikangshui was stunned. Okay, if you need help, as long as I can do it, I will definitely not refuse. Then Sikangshui nodded seriously again. The serious look made Ling Xiao dumbfounded. Although this little girl looks cold, she is quite cute. After smiling helplessly, Ling Xiao and Sikangshe went back to their own rooms. Back in the room, Ling Xiao didn't have time to rest, so he just sat cross-legged on the bed and closed his eyes to start practicing. Soon, time is passing by. Ding! Your mental energy reserve consumption, 300 points, your soul is seriously injured repaired, soul value, plus 300. Blood value plus 100. Ding! Your mental energy reserve consumption, 300 points, your soul is seriously injured repaired, soul value, plus 300. Blood value plus 100. A beeping sound also echoed in his mind every half an hour. Ding! Your mental energy reserve consumption, 300 points, your soul's serious injury repair, soul value, plus 300. Blood value plus 100. Congratulations to the host, the number of your soul points has been increased to 10,000 points, the realm has reached the 10th level of the innate. Successful soul transformation stage. On. Thanks for watching, subscribe and support.